My life is just covering Lucian.
Nobody's muted.
It is the same.
There's no one muted. We are going live. We're doing
Next
it live.
payday. Next payday, I'll splurge on some actual art for her instead of just a pit crew.
All right.
We'll be very happy about that.
Here we are. Session 27. Getting deep in it. Now, last we left off, you all got a sudden amount of progress coming up on a teleportation-capable wizard who happened to be going to the same city you were. And you all have landed, completed a small delivery at like a magic item shop, started walking around before Charlie spotted an old co-worker over at a jewelry shop, decided to hide, failed to do so, got spotted, triggering you all to tail that person. One thing led to another, which led to Ravi and Sonari using Dimension Door to teleport into the building and right into the face of Stardust, and had a nervous back and forth where you've all been given a job to kill the crew that has taken that airship that'll be here within a couple of weeks. And you are all kind of hanging out, more than one of you apparently picking up the ability to cast Laymon's Tiny Hut.
I guess I can change that spell out when I level up now.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
You should have communicated.
Communication's always fun. Charlie has received some messages from someone within the guild informing them as to rights to challenge Stardust for control of the underground crime group in the area, which would involve putting out Black Rose on the windowsill as a statement of intent to murder. And Stardust has informed Charlie Sonari and Ravi about the idea of putting out like a regular red rose when you are ready to talk, to give her the information she wants. So, you are all in the just afternoon in a room you have rented inside a magical bubble of protection. No one really tired as of yet because nothing's happened.
Chris, we should have just gone for it. We should just like...
You should just
Yeah!
should have just attacked. Yeah, no, that was great. We did want new characters.
I totally forgot all of that trauma that happened.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, the puke baby. The puke baby.
Oh no, I have that photo
Child.
of my
Yes.
puke baby.
Some disturbing illusions were cast upon people by someone. Not their motivations not entirely known for doing so, but
All I remember is Shiro saw her wife, her fiance, and was just like, "That ain't real, bitch."
right. True.
Managed.
So you are all sitting, seemingly protected.
I want to try something.
That never-
And I pull the crystal ball out of the bag of holding,
Nice.
and I want to try to scry on Stardust.
Nice.
This seems like a bad idea.
What's she gonna do?
Yeah, it's more of a test
Threaten
than
us?
anything. I'm sure she has people trying to scry on her all the time. I'm just testing to see if it's possible.
Okay. So, using the ball, they get a wisdom saving throw. Okay. So you are attempting to scry on Stardust.
Yes.
You take the time to do the ritual and look through the ball. You look down, and it's almost like you're looking directly into a headlight. And you can almost see the peripheral of movement, but you can't make out any details as to what's happening.
Yeah, I figured something like that would happen, and I just dispel it and put it away.
So, like, are we gonna wait Or are we just gonna get her now?
Well, I think if we do this job for her and at least somewhat get into her good graces, an opportunity might present itself where we might be
also
able to do
could,
something.
because her people are going to be checking on us after we go onto the vessel and kill everyone. We could try to convince them to fight with us. They have like a good number of people, don't they? A crew.
I
I
mean,
don't know if we left them in good
Yeah.
graces necessarily.
Okay.
Bad.
they were at least
Off
trying to
them.
hide the fact that they killed Lucian.
Yeah, like,
Oh,
When
we
I
know that
tried
now?
to,
Sorry.
when I left,
Mhm.
they pretended like nothing happened.
So we don't bring it up.
I would assume that they know that we know.
I'm going to bring up one thing that I don't think is going to work, and that is, Stardust very clearly knows that me and Charlie are here. And I don't think she's going to trust anything either of you do.
Why not?
Because you're with... We have...
She knows that we're with you.
Yes. And I'm assuming it's that sort of thing where if we kill her and don't put that... Wait. I almost metagamed. Did Charlie tell us about the Black Rose thing?
Not yet.
Okay. Almost
I was-
metagamed. Okay. If
She's testing us.
I'm going to say...
She knows you two are here.
I would not trust anyone who was friends with someone I tried to kill.
I think Stardust trusts anyone.
Exactly.
Period. I think.
Well, I would trust them even less.
It took me years
Yeah.
to get to the rank I was. I joined her when I was 7, 8,
Fuck.
and I didn't reach the rank I got to until I was 20.
Well, you were also a teenager and a child.
Yes, and children are bad at lying to people above them. I would
Children
know.
are more trustworthy.
Pardon?
Children, again, like you said, don't have much experience lying. It's easier to tell when they are.
Yeah.
As you get older, you get better at it, and they're harder to trust. That's why she willingly employs younger kids. They're also easier to get past defenses and smuggle things as people don't expect them.
And easier to manipulate.
Yeah.
Precisely.
But
Wait. Can we scroll back? Go back a second. She employs children?
Not like
You-
that.
No, that's not what I mean. I mean, this fucker manipulates and uses children for her own sick, twisted ends.
you
Yeah.
didn't assume that?
Yeah.
Shiro's gonna walk over and just punch the wall really hard.
She's testing us. That's what she's doing.
I'm going to
If
bury
we
your brains in.
if we go and complete the task for her, we prove that we are a worthwhile resource for her to spend more time manipulating and using to her own ends. If we don't succeed, then we're dead.
Or you
And
ask the kid that wants some extra bucks. I mean, that's how Grog and I got into it.
Can we assume that we're being watched right now?
Oh, yeah.
Listened to right now.
Absolutely.
make an Arcana check with Sonari.
I also make that Arcana
Ravi
check.
absolutely would be able to get in on that.
Dirty 20.
Yeah, I got like 8. So
Okay, so now you're not 100% sure. You kind of assumed obviously we just tried to spy on her, so she's probably spying on us. But Ravi, you're very confident in the tiny hut spell that you're all using. Leaves you all pretty impervious to any like magical scrying.
Yeah.
As well as
I say it.
Yeah.
I tell everyone, as long as the bubble is here, we're pretty protected from pretty much all magic.
alright, then I need a couple more seconds to think, so Shiro?
Ravi, could the bubble be what's interfering with you scrying on her?
Essentially.
From your dirty 20, no.
No.
You assume she just made her save, or she has some sort of protection.
So
One
it's
of
a
the two.
one-way thing.
It's hard to say which it is off of one casting.
Good to know.
Ravi, you remember that voice that I was hearing earlier? I can
Which one?
challenge the one that you were like, are you crazy? And I was like,
right,
no.
when the others went here.
Yeah. I can challenge Stardust in a duel to the death and like take over the guild.
Could you win this duel?
Do you have to fight it alone?
I don't know. Did he say that I had to fight alone? I didn't write that down.
I think we ruled for it that you are aware that it's not a meet me in this back alley and we'll stab at each other till one of us walks away. It's I have intent to murder you, and so it restricts what they're allowed to do to you until that's resolved, either through them having you murdered or you finding them and murdering them.
It's pretty much a fucking free-for-all.
The more like an accident, the better, you're saying?
Like, I put out this rose as like, hey, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And then she can try to kill me first. So, if we do this, there will be people after us.
Wouldn't be a first.
There are already people after us.
Yeah, Stardust people.
What changes?
That they're actually trying to kill us instead of threaten us.
For now, we have a truce.
I mean, there has to be a reason they let us get that close to Stardust without killing us.
Right.
Yeah, because she's testing us. She wants to see what we're capable of before she starts worrying about us. She wants to know how far we'll go, how strong we are, before so that, if we were to try and fight her, she would know what's possible and whether or not to be worried.
So what if we hold back on the ship?
Well, there's quite a few people on that ship.
We have friends, we can bring reinforcements.
Can
But
we?
if we hold
We're a
back,
little ways away.
Chiro?
Here's my 2 cents. I don't think she's waiting to try to see if she can trust you. My personal opinion, she's going to wait for us to get that airship for her. Then she's going to kill us basically immediately. I don't think she's testing you. I think she's toying with you.
I mean, we could take the airship for ourselves.
Yes, Charlie, you mentioned earlier that an idea, I think, convincing them to fight Stardew with us. Was that? Oh, sorry, Sonari. You're good. I there's something off about
Hmm.
Lucien's partner. She she didn't seem like herself when she was hiding it from me. I think I think she really did regret what happened.
Perhaps she's not the one who did it?
Probably not.
There were
As
quite a
much
few.
as much as she did seem to be very upset with Lucien, I did get I don't know, an idea that there was still a connection there. I think I
Perhaps.
think she could be convinced.
I think also Stardust mentioned to have the ship empty, but never specified killing anyone.
Perhaps
We could convince them to simply leave the ship.
Loopholes, my
Yeah,
favorite.
and then maybe have them in our backing.
Could we get a meeting with them in one of these huts? Stardust will be watching when we go on the ship.
Oh,
we
of course.
Stardust wants
private
us.
place.
There was no talk about time or schedules, but I
3 weeks.
assumed it was 3 weeks when the ship arrived, and they just kind of assumed that we would empty it for them. I'm assuming on arrival.
Um,
Um,
I'd like to bring something up.
yes.
This is all well and good. However, if we only convince them to leave, Stardust will most likely see that, and then she will just start keeping them under watch, which will be an issue for them helping us. But
Maybe.
not a terrible idea.
Wow.
I've had weird
What
experiences.
was Lucien's girlfriend's name again?
Finch.
Finch?
Finch.
Okay.
Yes.
I cast sending to Finch.
Ooh,
Nice.
forgot.
What do you say?
We know what happened. I'm not blaming you, but I want to talk. Is there somewhere we can set up a meeting away from Stardust's prying eyes?
Moment passes. Get a response back. Frankly, I don't know what I have to fucking say to any of you. You traveled with someone who I was paid to look the other way while they were murdered. Not like you all were really friends.
I cast sending again. And I say, I don't think it was nothing to you. I don't think you were just looking away.
I got quite a payday. One that I'm cashing in on soon. Sounds like an employer is also fucking with you. See what they can get out of you. Thanks for the information.
Damn. I relay everything.
So that's out. And from the sounds of it, they aren't going to go quietly.
But who's her employer?
Exactly.
I guess we'll just have to beat it out of her.
She's not the talking type.
I've learned that people are more willing to talk when you have threat of big hammer.
Yes, they're also more likely to lie, fun fact.
Or brides?
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
I mean, she's getting paid for this job, right? The question is how much, and if we give her a little coin, what information she can give us.
I don't think she's going to give up that ship. Now, I was going to bring something up about the whole Black Rose thing. I don't think we can use the ship to ambush her. I mean,
Why not?
because does it count if you kill her without putting out the Black Rose? If we put out the Black Rose, it becomes immediately apparent we're trying to kill her.
But if I put up the black rose, then it stops her second in command from getting
It's
the
taking
whole
her place.
Yeah.
You have to put out the Black Rose, otherwise it just keeps going.
Exactly.
If we can beat her, we could have control of the whole underground.
We could eliminate the underground.
You can never eliminate the underground.
Well, at least,
Slow it down.
what's the word? Rehabilitate it. Turn it into something that isn't used as, as it is now,
You could Robin Hood that shit.
more or less.
Well, our old friend from back in the island is actually doing that right now.
What old friend?
Isla, right? Something like that?
Sophia.
Sophia.
Yeah.
Not even close.
I know it started with an S.
Ravi, are you starting preparation for another scry while is going on for anybody?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I would actually like to cast it on Finch, just to see.
Okay. You all are talking while that gets set up. Cast the scrying spell. That is. You peer in and you see cloudy skies flying past and the familiar looking barbarian that you had seen before. We're being raided. I don't even really know what that means. I'm very new here. The atmosphere is very windy, and you see people essentially panicking, running back and forth, coming around one after another. Crewmates keep running up to Finch, who by the third one, you can see very clearly, she just grabs them by the scruff. It's like, I don't fucking want to know what your opinions are on the matter. We're turning. Alright? She's gonna kill us, either with those fuckers or somebody else. So no. Newport. Get the shit tied down. And like just throws them. And the next person who runs up just like ducks a backhand and is just like and like walks off. But it seems to be that they are changing course.
Right after that, I want to cast Sending to her again.
Sure.
Oh, you win.
As soon as she says, like, we're changing port and stuff, I want to say, I didn't know you'd be afraid of Stardust. I was looking to possibly work out an arrangement where we could take her out together.
Oh.
Be plenty of spoils for you.
Responds back. I don't know what you fucking think. How stupid I am. Your friend was murdered on my ship. I don't trust you. But thank you, I no longer trust her. And I'd rather not let her choose the place of our conflict.
Ravi,
Yes.
this is me. Could I possibly scry on someone?
Sure.
It will take you
I-
a couple of hours as you all
I
need to
figured.
attune to things.
Oh, you have to attune to it?
You have to
Oh,
attune
I
to
see.
it. Yeah, it's an attunement.
Yeah.
Could you scry on someone for me then?
It's more difficult if I don't know them, but sure.
You have met them.
Oh.
My fiance.
Oh, of course.
I just want to check in on her.
Absolutely.
Oh.
I'll attempt to do so.
Sure. Let's have Shiro roll a d12.
A D12. Have fun.
If you
Stop giving him ideas.
a 10,
He's dead.
she's
I
dead.
can go for if I get 10 or
A
not.
dragon falls on her.
Fuck, not again.
The dragon.
Right.
The dragon does run that town.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
It wasn't out of bounds.
Gets blasted out of the sky.
You
Blast
look.
that piece of junk
You
out
look
of the
in.
sky.
You look in on Shiro's fiance. She is sitting at it seems like a corner of a street, and is currently having tea with someone, who is chatting with her a little bit. It's a bit of a back and forth going on. The conversation appears to be talking about a book of some kind, and whether it had been seen in her presence at all. The back and forth seems pleasant, non-confrontational.
Can I... At the sound of book, I know we have Ingram's book. Can I tell if this is, like, Ingram or, like, an illusion?
Go for an insight check on that, yeah.
Cool. Not bad.
Ingram, the bane of our party.
15.
15. After you're watching for a few minutes, it actually becomes really apparent that it appears to be Ingram, as an illusion cantrip is being used to make the faces of various members of the party, and she's just sort of like, oh yeah, that one, and like there's a back and forth of her confirming who these traveling companions are who went with Shiro.
I love my stupid fiance, but god fucking damn it.
Nice man who is concerned for your safety is trying to find you and your traveling companions.
Hunted by multiple people.
Who's that? I don't recognize her.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who can see it, right?
Yep.
Wait. Oh, I thought it was just like appears. Sorry.
Once I come out of it, I let you all know.
Yeah.
Sorry,
If you
you're
want.
great. I hate your uncle.
We can absolutely, I think that we can absolutely tell him that I just have it and I can hand it to him. Because I was gonna give it to him.
I have question. Who's Ingram?
He's a guy that we tried to kill one time, and he came back, and
I feel like
also
we've done
Sonari's uncle.
I feel like you've told me this before and I just
Yeah.
forgot. I'm sorry.
It's deja vu.
It was in our like
Wait, you want to give
My Chemical Romance days.
trying to kill us his
I
magic?
don't know that he's trying to kill you.
I feel like if you tried to kill him, he would definitely want to kill all of you. You excluded, I think. And she points at Sonari. You, I think, would be good. You two, however.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I do not trust
Yeah,
that shit.
that's fair.
Yeah,
Now that I think about it, when the word revenge is used, I guess that means killing.
Wait,
Generally.
You don't trust who?
That guy, the Ingram.
Oh. I'm sorry, Charlie said that chick, and I thought you were talking about.
Oh,
my
he said that
fiance, and I was-
shit. That shit.
Oh, I heard
Not just
chick.
that shit. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, cool. We're being hunted. Y'all are being hunted, I guess, but
His day is shit. So I guess the boat plan is out.
so
Should
I-
we just? Should
I
we just?
feel like we still need to go there.
but the boat's not going to be there anymore.
tell her the book. Well, no, that would be snitching.
They're going somewhere else now.
Yeah.
Eat. So guns blazing, I guess.
More or less. I mean, Black Rose, right?
Kick in the front door, see what happens.
Or we just take those diamonds we needed and just leave.
And head out.
Well,
Yes, but
the thing is,
Stardust, end of the world.
I thought you were like contractually obligated to like fight Stardust.
I found her.
well,
No,
you didn't see.
like
Technically, you didn't see
kill
her.
her.
For all your stuff to get back, right?
Well, and also like, I thought you talked to that one person who was very upset at you, and you said that you like made a deal with them. I thought.
Maybe.
It was in the town before that one.
Yeah. I'm looking through my notes.
And you'd get all your stuff back, including that weird biological
That-
weapon I've been told
That
of.
heinous British and cheese.
Right.
On the one hand, we have excellent pranks. On the other hand, we have being killed by Stardust. So
Do like pranks.
I know. I'm patronizing you.
We have
I
3
can't-
weeks.
I can't believe I'm thinking about this, but when we get back to my hometown, I will bake you whatever you want.
Just in general?
Anything you want.
Okay.
This
But
doesn't
if we kill Stardust.
Oh.
help us that much.
Well, I was remembering because she's easy.
Oh no! Sorry, I was
easily
talking about
got-
my own idea. I'm not.
Oh, sorry.
What do you think?
Sorry.
What are you thinking, Sonali?
I've been playing with the idea. This isn't even a full plan, but of pretending to turn in, one of these two and ambushing at that possibility.
Ooh, that is a good.
Um,
But
we don't have numbers right now, but as a beginning thought.
Let me go shopping first, and I'm gonna stand up and leave.
Oh, but
So Charlie,
Yeah.
none of
are
us
you
going-
actually going shopping?
Yes, I promise I am actually going shopping.
Can I?
I think one of us should probably go with you.
Yeah, I don't think any of us should leave the room alone right now.
Sonari and Bravi, you should stay here then, but
I definitely have to stay.
turn
Okay.
me.
I'm not gonna cast this again.
Okay. Let's go.
All right.
Shira's gonna get up.
You all hear a knocking at the door that has been happening for the last minute or so, and the as you all are been having your conversation.
I cracked the door a little bit.
Charlie, make a perception check for me.
Uh-oh.
Shira just hand on her hammer.
No! Oh,
What, you
fuck.
expected it to be any better?
Perception.
11.
What?
11.
11. Okay. With the crack in the door and everything, you just notice Ravi look down more than you expect. Ravi, you look straight ahead for like a medium-sized creature. Down, your vision automatically just down to like a small creature. Still not good enough. You drop down again to see this tiny humanoid with one massive eye in the center of the head, and then like a nose and mouth with like a pretty thick double chin, very like pale greenish gray skin, very splotchy. A very light robe that's been thrown across, and a little
My father baby, isn't it?
covered bread basket,
Dobby?
and it just holds a little almost Dobby energy. Cyclops Dobby with like a thyroid issue.
That's terrifying.
He's like, hello. I have the paymaster sent me to give these to you. To someone named Charlie.
Thank you.
You are most welcome. And like,
Is it my puke?
take 2 steps and
I
like,
close it.
yeah, backs away. Charlie, you didn't notice what it was.
The voice, did it sound like my puke? Because it
But-
sounds like my puke.
Your
Before I
puke
show Char-
yeah, the sound of your puke monster tickled your ear as the interaction ended.
Before I hand it to Charlie, I want to see what's in the basket.
There are 3 roses, A
Ooh.
red, a black, and a gold. That as well as like a small little vase thing that they can be. One of them could be put into so that it would stand up in a window.
What's the gold thing?
What if we throw the black
I
in
think we
with
found
the face
invitations.
Do
And
I know what the gold one would be for?
It's like paying them off, yeah. If you're
Oh.
willing to just give them money to leave you alone.
Ah.
Ah.
we
Well,
don't have a ton of money, or I don't think enough money, at least.
Probably not enough. Yeah.
it would be a lot.
It would be
Yeah, for
cool.
Charlie and
Shiro.
Shiro, yeah.
Mostly Charlie, I think.
Yeah, mostly Charlie.
Oh, for sure.
It's true.
I don't
You don't know what I did.
I don't. But I'm assuming
I've-
it's worse than just not paying
Not
some
paying them.
protection money.
I've seen like the form that Charlie takes when they disguise themselves as a dwarf, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. And I know his name.
Grog.
Yeah,
Grog.
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 Can I scry on Grog?
Sure. You've done it before. Or someone has
Well,
done it before.
Charlie has,
Charlie's done it before.
Isn't he a werewolf?
Yeah,
now?
you do see a dwarven man, basic tunic, axe at the side, is currently by some sort of midday campfire, taking a couple of bites out of a some kind of meat on a bone. Tearing chunks off, chewing it. He's kind of quietly eating next to the fire. Occasional yells over of you catch someone ask like, was there a convoy or did they use magic to leave? And it's like, I don't know. I don't have any information. All I know is we're gonna try getting in. This is sort of a nod and kind of a quiet contemplation with himself and others around apparently.
So Charlie,
I don't say anything about that one.
Fuck.
Charlie, we were going to go shopping.
Yes. Prank shopping.
God damn it.
Can't we wait- how about we wait until after we've murdered the person trying to kill us?
How did we do it before so when they turn me in, I have shit that I can actually use because all my shit was taken?
Oh, like the murder kind of prank.
Yes. Murder
Oh.
pranks.
Death, the
Murder
ultimate prank.
Face
Like the John, you're like the John Wick going to the to the armory to just like, yes, a wonderful prank.
It's my favorite kind of prank, a shotgun.
You see, there's cameras over there and over
A
there.
little over the top for a prank, just in my personal opinion.
I think Charlie, for
My
Charlie,
favorite
Well,
prank,
sniper rifle.
I think for her, prank is code for murder.
Just in general.
They just love playing around.
Just a silly guy, you know?
I'm just a silly guy.
We'll go pick you some stuff up.
All right, so you're going shopping. Let's.
For-
What's
for-
happening?
We'll go pick stuff up. We'll come back. Take a rest because for the magic folk. And then murder?
Well,
Sure.
we should try and come up with a plan and figure out the best way to do it before we actually declare that we're trying to do something.
Okay. Let's go, Charlie. And Shiro is going to is still armored up because just in case.
You'd have had to unarmor at some point, and I don't think there's been a reason to yet.
Was my disguise kit taken from me too?
Yeah, all your shit was taken.
They know you're in town.
I don't want them to see what I'm buying.
How about you point stuff out to me and I'll buy it?
Okay.
Cool. All right, so you two make your way back over to the magic shop that you saw, or well, you dropped stuff off at yesterday, or actually today. It was all this morning.
Yes.
Before we go, I loan Shiro 400 gold.
That's okay.
All right. You all make it down. The both of you making a perception check as you make your way through town.
21.
Nice.
Nice.
A 15. 11 plus 4.
Nice. Looking out, there's that moment where you are thinking everyone's a tail for a while, and keeping pretty close track of all the different types of people in the crowd. But after a couple of minutes walking, you don't recognize anybody multiple times. At least not in a way that doesn't make sense. You'll see once you saw someone move quickly past you, and then they seem to have picked up some sort of package and are heading back the other way, and that's sort of you clock them and you're like, wait, okay, no, that's fine.
Courier.
Yeah. And then without much of an incident, make your way over to that magic shop.
Before we head in, what anything in particular you want?
I mean, things that can cause harm would be nice, but things that can disorient people, things
Okay.
like my stinky flowers,
Okay.
stuff
to
like
know.
that. Hey, Moonweaver, be
Hey.
cool if you drop some more crap.
Hey, God.
God?
God, give me a loot drop.
Hey, God, can I have a free loot box?
Right. Your subscription
that's-
is not up to date.
Your subscription to Jesus.
Subscription to Jesus is not up to date.
Would you like to upgrade to paganism?
All right.
Free trial of Jesus has ended.
The Romans, your free trial.
I mean, my childhood?
Anyway, let's head inside.
Yep. You have the familiar ding ding of walking through the door. You'll recognize the crates that you brought have been emptied, and the stock has been put out into the shelves and all that. And there's sort of a look over to the two of you. It's with a, hey, you're back. I don't have any more work for you. Are you here to buy?
Yes, we are.
Excellent.
Are there any sorts of weaponry in the shop?
There's general weaponry that looks like it has been of a dwarven make, considering your location makes a lot of sense, and looks like some have been alloyed with special metals, but most of them you're looking through at first glance don't appear to be enchanted, but do look like they're ready to be enchanted. So things that have been woven with various metals to make the enchantment process quicker and easier in case someone needs something enchanted. It actually looks like there is a basic selection of every regular kind of weapon you can think of. They are stocked and ready for anyone who's like, I need a magic blank. They're ready to go and to start working on it.
It's a weapon build-a-bear. Hey Charlie, how does a rapier sound?
Not too bad. Doesn't sound too bad. I just have a normal one right now.
Shiro's gonna pick up a rapier and hand it to Charlie. How's that feel?
I don't really want to touch anything. We're supposed to just get things
Fair enough. Sir.
incognito.
Fine eye. The dwarven rapier is a interesting item of weaponry. Takes a trained hand to master.
Oh, I know. How much would it be to be enchanted?
Enchanted for a magical rapier. It'll take a couple of weeks. Buying the rapier, you're looking at 330 gold pieces.
Is that including the enchantment?
Indeed it is.
Ooh. We can wait a couple weeks, right?
I don't know. Into the world and Stardust and all the things that are happening.
I mean, as far as you
What
know
if
who...
a short bow?
You already have a bow, don't you?
Or rapier, sorry.
Sorry, can you repeat what you said?
What if I gave them my rapier and they just enchanted it?
Well, that might take longer.
But we wouldn't have to pay as much.
330 is already a steal, my friend.
It's pretty okay.
Yeah. For a magic item, 330 is pretty good. I mean, as far as you know who knows, we're staying in town for a couple weeks. So we can wait.
I don't know how comfortable I am leaving my stuff and not having it just in case.
Well, you'd still have your normal rapier. That's why I'm saying get the dwarven one enchanted.
Other stuff.
Pardon?
I want pranky stuff. I'm gonna look around and see if any pranky things catch my eye.
Sure. Make an investigation check for me.
We still have. You can get both.
Fuck my life. 12.
12. The most pranky thing that you spot. There's a rod that is suspended in midair and is not in a display. It just has a 400 gold piece price tag on it, and it is just chilling, just hanging out right where a display would be, but there's no display. It's just it suspended in midair.
Ask about that.
What?
Ask about that.
Oh, that thing.
The thing your friend wants you to ask me about. Yes.
Yes. What is it?
It's an immovable rod. There's a functionality switch on it, and you can use it as many times as you like. You place it, turn it on, almost impossible to move.
That could actually be used in some pretty creative ways. You could bar a door and no one's breaking down that door.
Indeed, they'd have to chop it down splinter by splinter.
I might come back later for the rapier, but I think I'm going to pick up that immovable rod.
Very good.
Shira's going to hand over the 400 gold that Charlie gave her
You're right.
and pick up the immovable rod for Charlie.
Shows you where the switch on it is, and it's just a switch to on or off, and it activates, holds in place, deactivate, you can grab it and take it wherever.
You could do like the salmon ladder from American Ninja Warrior in mid-air.
You can be on an airship and put it in the belt of a pirate captain and turn it on and watch as they get.
Say bye.
Bye!
Or just on a regular ship.
Right.
Or you could just put it in front of an immovable ship and then just watch it carve right through the ship.
It used to be like that, but there is a weight limit now.
It's not an immovable lightsaber. It's an immovable rod.
Oh, no, I thought it would just like punch a hole through it.
Might.
So at the speed at which a ship would travel would be enough, but the force a ship would put the rod through
Mm-hmm.
is more than the weight limit. So
Even magic is not a guarantee of shenanigans. What you need is 2 of them and some piano wire.
Genius.
So
Well, I had super thin, fucking unseeable wire, but no!
but no, you had to steal from someone.
Yep.
No, you had to commit a crime. You have no one to blame but yourself.
all right. So
And also me a little, but
the shopkeep looks straight down at Charlie, and is like,
Anything else funny for 50 gold?
"What?
Anything else funny for 50 gold?
Yes, indeed." Motions you over to the desk, pulls up a scroll case, and is like, "The scroll of command can be very hilarious. It's a 1-word command spell. Make someone stop, drop, roll. If you will.
That
Drop.
sounds very useful, actually.
Drop is usually getting them to drop it, as in drop the thing in their hand.
But can I make them
Drop
pee?
it.
Make them what?
Pee.
I mean, if
Piss.
they needed the pee, then it would definitely work out.
Command piss.
I'm more of a fan of poop, personally, but
50 gold.
Oh, I just thought of a much worse version of it.
is this Umbra or Shiro?
Both.
Let's get back to characters.
Yes.
We're too deep
oh,
on nothing happening.
Oh, that sounds good, but very dangerous.
It's only
Yeah,
50
why don't you
gold.
pick it up?
It's not a complicated spell, but useful.
All right.
50 gold.
Why don't you pick it up? Any other scrolls, by any chance?
No, that's it for scrolls.
All right. Well, let's pick that up and then we'll head back.
Does Charlie pay for the scroll?
I whispered to Lucian that I would pay her back. Or to
A ghost?
A ghost?
A ghost?
Hero.
The Reaper?
Pay her back.
Alright, so Shiro pays the 50 gold for the scroll.
Yeah. She just does like a joking mom sigh and then hands her for the gold. Just,
Cool, I have 5 gold left.
Very good. Are you doing any nighttime spying? Your
What?
people sometimes have issues seeing in the dark. Thought these might be useful. Points at some goggles up on the shelf. 350 gold. They're quite
You
useful.
have 5 gold.
ooh, that is...
Ooh, 5 is not going to do it.
We might come back later with some more gold. I'm currently strapped for cash as well.
Sorry to hear. Hopefully they're here when you need them.
You have the 400 that Charlie gave you?
Spent on the
she's-
rod.
Spent it on the immovable rod.
Oh, okay, they did. I didn't realize.
Let's head back and maybe talk to our friends about quickly dashing back over and buying some other things, but first let's plan about what we're going to do. Since I have this weird feeling that some higher being wants me to move the plot along.
Well, let's go back. We can't talk here.
Oh wait.
Well, of course.
Alright, you all start.
For a little bit, Sonari and Ravi just chilling in the dome, I guess.
Yeah.
Ravi's just like fiddling with like a coin or something.
I would
Like-
like. Oh yeah, go on. Sorry.
He's like pulls his rapier out like halfway, looks at it, puts it back. You can tell he's very anxious.
I want to. I want to be casting 5 familiar if they're gone for long enough.
Yeah.
Or also while they're coming back anyways.
Right, yeah, they're definitely gone enough for that.
Right.
What are you trying to summon?
Fortunately for me, an owl.
An
And I
owl.
had a plan for it, but I had forgotten it because it's been so long.
It's
Uh-oh.
been a while.
And how it looked. It's barn owl looking.
Mm-hmm. Common barn owl looking.
Barn
Look at
owl.
owl.
I'll come back with the details when I can find them.
I need to go for a walk. I'll blow off some steam.
Just walk around the block.
Yeah, if I'm not back in like 2 hours, then start looking.
Okay.
Sonari finishes the owl summon. Sparking up out of the ashes in this brazier, a barn owl appears. What kind of spirit would you like it to have?
I think just Faye,
Faye.
and I want to name it Ghost.
Ghost.
Ooh, that's a good name.
Thank you.
The green eyes kind of sparkle up to you. So
Oh, yeah.
Ravi leaves the dome and heads down the stairs. Ravi, make a perception check for me.
Okay. Uh, 15.
15, you do notice there's an exotic meats cart that is like parked out front, and it seems like it's like late lunch service, and there's people coming over there to get exotic kebabs and meatballs and things.
Oh, neato.
Yeah.
I would like to look for a florist.
Okay. Make an investigation check for me.
Um, 16.
16? Yeah, it seems like it's going to take you a couple of minutes, but you do eventually come up on a florist, only a few blocks away.
I want to buy a red rose.
Uh-huh.
Nice. They charge you 5 copper pieces.
All right.
Where are you heading after that?
I want to head to a different hotel,
Nice.
a different inn.
You sneaky fuck.
Another 10 minutes or so, and you find another inn nearby.
I'll get a room for the night.
Son of a bitch.
Barkeep asks you for 5 gold. Mark that off. I'm assuming you put the rose in the window.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Red rose placed in the window. Where are you heading back to the hotel after that?
I'm going to wait there for a bit.
Okay.
I'm going to give myself at least enough time to walk back to the other inn within that 2 hours that I gave Sonari.
Right.
Like, if it gets to that point, then I'll head back. But
Cool. So you wait there for, it's going to be another hour, hour and a half, and before you kind of reach your time frame on that. Sonari, you hear a knock at the door.
I crack it open.
Yep.
Hello?
it's reaching outside of the dome.
Kind of reach outside. You see a dagger kind of go to the floor where the door would like shut to kind of prop it open, and then just sort of sitting down against the frame of the door is Stardust.
Great.
Me?
Oh,
Sort of slides down, kind of cracks her back. No longer topless like the last time. Like all her piercings are already set at this point. And then just so light armor, dressed if battle were to occur, but like a day cloak, and loose fitting clothing. And it's just like, all your friends left. This looks pretty sturdy. She kind of like taps the dome.
Yeah, I was going to back up a couple inches behind it, the dome.
Mm-hmm.
Chills going up my back now.
Just like kind of slowly runs her hand across it. It's not impervious, but it's substantial.
Oh.
Why are you here?
I could finally get one of you alone to talk to. Why wouldn't I? So, looks like you're friends with Charlie.
What about him?
They're fine. They've murdered some people that are of use to me and not really repaid that damage yet, so that's a problem.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that right now.
That's fair. I don't expect you to pay their debts for them. Oh. Did you relay the plan about the airship?
To my other friends? Yes.
Sound like a plan?
Yeah. They're hesitant, as you can imagine,
I would hope not.
but
Charlie owes a
it's
substantial debt. An airship handed over would be a near immediate solving of that debt. Say near immediate. It was sort of half hours, anyways. We have contracts with the crew for them to join some of our lesser operations and move product and such, so they were already going to be under our thumb monetarily. It's just nicer to just own it outright. You know how it is.
do they have your product on that ship right now?
No, they're coming here to pick up a good amount of stock.
Okay. Just wondering in case we decide to take things to make sure you wouldn't take anything you had.
So polite. You seemed like the smart one of the group.
Thank you. Is there anything you wanted to tell me more than you know that Charlie's here?
Not in particular. It seemed like a lot of panic and scrambling when I feel like options are pretty laid bare. They're free to attempt to murder me if they want. It's almost definitely going to get other people killed as well as themselves. And then there's working for me, which, although I don't trust Charlie that much, doing a job to absolve their debt and then moving on with their lives, certainly profitable for me. As for the rest of you, you seem capable enough. You notice her kind of pull out a small piece of paper and start just folding it into. Looks like she's in the middle of trying to work out some origami.
Can I insight check that?
Sure.
Alright. Oh, insight can't be terrible too. Okay, well, that's a straight 14 then.
It just seems like someone who has to be doing something with their hands. And so kind of just pulls out the thing to do.
At all of us.
Yeah.
Stardust has ADHD canonically now.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Relatable queen. Charlie hasn't figured out or hasn't told me what their intentions are with that yet.
Well, I'll tell you what. Sorry if I'm interrupting you. It's hard to read social signals through an opaque wall. If Charlie, who is by all accounts the current Nightingale due to a murder on the road, if someone else were to drop Charlie and become the Nightingale, they would have an automatic position in our organization, one well respected, with a lot of resources. Now, for me, profitability-wise, that's plan C at best. But just to let you know, as someone who could take advantage of that opportunity, that's an option.
What responsibilities would that person have?
Oh, there's the smiting of the enemies of the guild, obviously, but I have a feeling that's something you're quite capable of.
What are the benefits? I'm sorry.
You guys had dental?
We cover my student debt.
Of course, we have private enchanters and a pretty direct line to some powerful entities that can grant you some boons. Didn't do the last Nightingale that much good, apparently, but perhaps someone more capable of taking advantage.
You have proposed an interesting point.
Something to consider. She kind of finishes finishes the crane and just sets it down on the inside of the door frame so that when the door shuts, it'll be left behind. And reaches out for her dagger and pulls it from the floor. Well, have a good afternoon. Make sure your friends don't putz around too much. If they need a weapon enchanted or something for this attack, they should get on it. That ship should be here in just a few weeks. I'll be around. Then you see her head kind of cocked to the side. Well, maybe I won't talk to you later. Maybe we'll resolve things sooner than I thought. Yeah, it stands up, sheathes the dagger.
Oh.
Good day to you, miss.
Okay.
I'm gonna snatch this fly out of the air at some point.
Okay.
I didn't get it. Free opportunity to look cool and it just gets away. Alright. Stands up, kind of does like a small bow to not right at you because she can't see right where you are, and then closes the door.
I want close the door. I'll have a little freak out session, but also if I could tell Ghost to try to tail her
Sure.
where she's going.
Kind of reach over to the window and open it to let Ghost out.
Yeah. Gotta let the
It's like trying to not leave it, just stretching out.
Right. I'm still in the dome. I'm still in the dome.
How much of Sonari has to be within the dome to count?
I'd say
Like
all
my
but an
center.
arm. We'll let an arm go
Yeah.
through for door purposes, but otherwise you get some real fighting shenanigans. All right. So go ahead and make a perception check for the owl.
Al wasn't wearing glasses.
I'll be right back. Don't kill me.
No promises.
I did forget that. Real quick. Owl perception.
Owl perception.
It does have advantage on those checks, so hold on.
Hey, there we go.
Yo. Insight.
Insight.
16?
Nice. You are easy enough to watch for the door to open, to see Stardust come out, and almost immediately talk to, it looks like just some random beggar, who she then walks away from and takes like a beeline, down the road. And Owl is on the tail. Go ahead and roll a stealth check for the owl.
Yeah.
Owls should have advantage on stealth, too.
I would say maybe at night.
Possibly, but it's also a white owl. I don't think it's gonna be that stealthy.
There's a
Okay.
barn owl, and there's not a barn within a mile.
At least it's. Oh wait. Oh, sorry, never mind. I just mixed up the perception number. But
Do they have dark
right.
vision, too?
It does have dark vision, but the
Okay.
stealth is +3, which isn't bad, so it's a 15.
Nice. That's actually, she rolled kind of shit, so that makes sense. So against all odds, you are able to look through the owl's vision, and track Stardust as she goes several blocks away. Ravi,
Yeah.
while you are kind of in this little apartment, waiting for quite a while, there's a knock at the door.
Yes.
Could I come in?
Is it Stardust?
That's a woman's voice. You can't see if it's Stardust.
Can I recognize the voice from earlier?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
The voice that struck fear, I hope.
Yeah, not great. Only an 11.
Adrenaline was pumping at the time. The exact mark out of the person you talked to.
I was hearing my heart more than I was hearing her.
Yep.
Reading lips.
Yeah.
The screeching noises from Kill Bill.
Yeah.
I don't know how it goes exactly. It's been a while.
I go and I open the door.
It is Stardust.
I open the door the rest of the way and gesture for her to come in.
Sort of a squint and eyebrow raise as you appear to not be who she was expecting, but nods and goes on in. You do see an escort down the hall, a very thick bro of a dwarf back there, just sort of like gives you a nod. Kind of tightens a ring on a finger over a gloved hand, but otherwise no weapons or anything.
If there are two chairs in this room, I would have had them set up to like be facing each other a little bit,
Right.
just to. I'll motion for the chair and then I'll sit down.
Sits down. You kind of see her just studying you as you sit down as well.
What do you want to know?
Several things specific to you and your friends, I assume, not greater complexities of life and the viceroy's
What
most
came first?
private secrets. Yes, I mean the egg, obviously.
Yeah.
But lots of things. What do you have to offer?
I don't know what I have that might interest you.
Well,
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm seeking an exchange.
Seems fair. Is this related to your friend or your family?
My family.
Oh. Honestly, that's far more interesting than what I thought you were going to say.
Yes, family matters, right?
It's true.
Great show.
That was the joke.
Not there. So, you are looking to set a trap for your uncle.
Well, not at the moment, but
I would have assumed the
uh,
crimes against your father and mother.
that's little ways down the road. I was more intending for an exchange of information. I tell you what you want to know, and you can tell me what you can.
She pulls out a little, like, pinkish red slip of paper.
However, if you have something like that set up, I wouldn't be averse to negotiating.
What I assumed would be setting up a business opportunity for him. One that I know he would be interested in. Making sure it's taking place somewhere private. And making sure you know where that is. I have rules about minimal guard when people such as himself show up. Doesn't do much good for me for them to bring 50 armed soldiers to a meeting. Tips the scale of power a little. Too much to their comfort level. No offense, my lord.
Fair enough.
I have my own interested party I wouldn't mind seeing in a similar situation. You have a
Certain Charlie, I assume.
Indeed. They have not repaid their debts for several infractions at this point. If they could be brought to a safe house, as your current one has been compromised, then if it were one of my choosing, somewhere your dome would appear to protect, but would have an access point for myself, and I could simply take Charlie out of your hands and have them start working off that debt.
You personally?
No, not usually.
I didn't assume so. I was surprised to hear you say you would.
The colloquial eye.
Isaac.
Get to talk to all of you one-on-one. It's such a treat.
And what of information?
Information.
What can I tell you that, I don't know, would interest the likes of you?
Likes of me.
Sorry. Someone of your stature.
I understood your meaning. Just fucking with you. You all, rumor has it, you all have been searching for diamonds. But have not asked anyone since you came into town where you could get some.
I mean, we haven't been here very long, and we more or less know. We were planning to head to the mines in the north.
You're in the
But-
north.
Well, further north.
Do you not? How did you arrive
Right.
in the city?
Through a magical means.
I would pay good coin to see the looks on your faces when you go further north, not realizing you've arrived at your destination.
The mines. The diamond mines are here.
The mines are just east of here.
Oh.
The city leads into the mines itself.
I see. So then we travel out through the mountains.
You're right up against the mountains.
We do know that Stardust has control of the diamond, like all the gem.
Yeah, I know. I'm beating around the bush here.
Yep. There's a small twist of the paper as a pink red rose is finished out of the origami paper. It's just sort of placed gently on your knee. Now, information I wouldn't mind is what Charlie's location will be when they will be alone, private, so I can have a one-on-one conversation with them as I have with you and your other friend. So
I
that would be useful.
don't know if you can receive them, but I can send magical messages.
I can receive those.
Well,
We may have a trade.
Yes. I know how to contact you. I'll let you know.
Now my time is going to start feeling wasted being summoned here and having no actual information given.
You can ask me anything. I can try my best to answer. And if you're curious about anything,
What?
I'm more than willing to offer. I currently don't know where Charlie is or when they will be by themselves, and I can't really set something up at the moment, so...
What is something else I would want to know?
Oh, that wasn't rhetorical.
No?
I'm not sure.
Adventurers running all over the countryside, so there's something you've come across. Something interesting, at least. Something that might affect my business, obviously, would be preferable.
I know that somehow the airship caught wind of our plan and are now going to make port somewhere else. I don't know where, but I know they're not planning to come here.
That is disappointing.
I agree.
There's
I was very much hoping to meet her again.
Plan A of Charlie's debts has been thwarted. Can go on to Plan B, I suppose. I will want to talk to Charlie one-on-one. See what they can do to get out of the red. Can we arrange a chat?
I'll let you know as soon as I have one for you. As soon as I convince Charlie to be alone.
Fair enough.
Do you need something as insurance or?
No. I know where to find you. Stands up from her chair. I've discovered a lot of patients the last few years, a few months mostly.
I guess I should be thankful for that.
Yes. You see her playing with one of her piercings at her wrist, a little fire opal. No. No. Once a week's often enough for the piercing sessions. Goodbye, Lord Ravi. I shall hopefully be hearing from you soon.
I give like a short bow from like sitting.
Rose, paper rose still sitting on your knee.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looks, she kind of just looks over and walks to the window and just like cuts the rose off at the flower head. Crushes the petals. Nods and heads out the door.
I sit there for as long as I can before heading back to the other inn, looking at the origami rose, and then I flick it off my knee and I head back.
All right. Right about the time you start heading back, Charlie, Shiro, you make it back into the hotel. Open the door and see the opaque wall of the dome.
We're back.
Cannot hear or see them.
Yeah, Sonara, you see them open the door and walk in.
Sonari!
The stars and the bird.
Owl.
Oh, Owl.
Bird up.
Owl has been
Or
overlooking
maybe-
the hotel. It is too
Okay.
far for you to give commands to the owl, so it's just circling there.
That's good.
And then make a perception check for the owl.
Oh, those are shit. Well, +3, 10.
10. The owl, you are looking through until you hear the door opening in the room. At this point, you have not seen.
Yeah.
You saw her go into this hotel. You did not see her come out.
Okay.
But the door is opening with Charlie and Jiro coming in.
Sonari, I bet you 100 gold pieces that I'm stronger than you.
Charlie, make an insight check.
What?
Ooh. That's not bad.
So now he's just sitting there with her eyes closed, you know? Like,
Well, I assume Sonari pops out of the daze. Oh, well, no, you wouldn't even hear anything. You're just sitting. You would just be sitting there because you have no sense of hearing at your main body when you are looking through your familiar. So it's just Charlie yelling at you.
Just like,
There's no response. Sonari is not able to hear what you're saying.
I'm gonna enter the bubble.
You see Sonari just like eyes rolled back.
Oh my god, Sonari's having a stroke! And I'm gonna start like shaking her.
You feel someone shaking you.
alright. I come back out. What the?
Are you dead?
Do I look dead?
Well, undead are surprisingly common.
What are you gonna do?
Sorry?
Repeat it?
Me?
Yeah, I couldn't
Yeah,
make out
yeah,
what you
sorry.
said.
Okay.
Oh, I heard Tim when I yelled, "Are you dead?" I heard Tim laugh in the other room. I mean, you don't look dead.
Nope. How was your trip?
I bet 100 gold I'm stronger than you.
Yeah, okay. You did some mad working out while I were gone?
Yeah, I did, and I'm gonna take out the rod and activate it and put it on the ground.
Okay.
Okay.
Lift it.
Well, you activate it and go to put it on the ground. It doesn't move.
Oh.
From
Sorry,
your-
put it on the ground and activate it.
All right. You Sonari make just like a, let's say, an insight check.
I feel like, yeah, I'd be suspicious enough to be like, why am I doing this?
Right.
I'm still
Well,
here. Sorry,
um,
just a second.
It was a natural 1.
Nice. You did not catch any of the setup for this.
Yeah. Alright. I go to pick it up. Just like, whatever makes you happy, Charlie.
100 gold would make me happy.
Yeah.
So you have bet 100 gold. I would say Charlie also make an insight check.
17.
Nice. You get the sense that Sonari's kind of playing along because Sonari has some bad news, and doesn't want to disappoint you. But Sonari, go ahead and make a strength check.
Yeah. Strength.
Nat 20 breaks it.
No, it was not a nat 20. What number? Okay. Like 15.
15 is 15 lower than you needed. You grab this rod, and you can't even get your fingers under it. It is full force lift, and it is stuck on the ground.
The fuck did you put in this?
My dick!
Hey.
I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go train now, bye. Oh, 100 gold.
I will give you 10 platinum.
Okay, and then I start leaving to go train.
Sonari's the one of us that still has a lot of money.
Right. Does
Yeah,
Sonari
that's cool.
say anything about her encounter, or?
When the owl went, I just saw that Stardust just went to a hotel, right? I didn't see
Yeah,
anything.
this random hotel you haven't been to
Yeah,
and have
it
no
was-
context for.
Okay. Not yet. I want to wait for Abby to come back.
Oh, okay. Waiting for Ravi to come back before you mention anything about it.
I'm gonna go sit in the hall so I don't have to hear whatever bad news it is.
Oh, because you knew it was not. Yeah, right.
You know, there's some news, and so you just kind of avoid it.
Something coming.
Very in character.
Yeah, like a normal person would.
Yep.
Right?
Sure.
Right, guys?
Right.
I think Charlie needs.
Oh, now we're losing Rav.
No, I was just. Oh, I am frozen.
Yes.
Okay.
A little on
I was about to say no. I was just pausing between my words.
So Sonari goes back to looking through the owl.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Where's Ravi?
Shiro, you have seen Sonari just eyes go blank.
Couldn't answer you. Wouldn't know.
Well, that's helpful.
Doesn't respond to you saying anything.
You stay here. I'm going to go look for the idiot.
Yeah, fuck.
I'm the idiot.
We're going out alone. Yes.
you're an idiot for going out alone. I will now be going out alone to find this idiot who had the audacity to go out alone.
Don't
Tal'Dorei
question
doesn't look
Shiro's logic.
worried.
Well, you can't look anything right now.
I'm on the side of the door where when you open it, I'm on that other side.
Yeah.
Back in the room.
Unless it opens in.
It would open in. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Never mind. I'm sitting in the hall.
Right.
Get back in the room.
Oh no, I don't know. You left. Never mind. Go.
But, like, there's not good vibes in there.
Well, out here, Stardust could show up at any time.
I get up and I go back in the room.
I knew that would work. Shiro's gonna go out to look for Ravi.
Nice. Give me a survival check.
Why a survival check? That's
Just
concerning.
tracking.
Oh, tracking. Good point. Hey, I'm actually good at survival. Unnatural 20.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Why would you dare make me roll the thing I'm good at?
I forgot I'm good at survival.
Like,
Yeah,
fine.
I
never
Then
use it.
I guess a history check? No reason for it, but whatever.
Make
You
the check. You
go out, you take
Follow
a
the
more
proverbial breadcrumbs.
What?
Follow the proverbial breadcrumbs.
Sure enough.
the story breadcrumbs.
So, there are, crowds and people moving around and about, looking through. You are taking a little more methodical searching pattern, just kind of looking out to see if Ravi's just hanging out in the stalls or buying stuff or what have you. You find like a fancy cloak shop and you're like he's fancy boy, he may be here, and looking in and don't see him anywhere. After a few minutes, you kind of check your corners and do see catch a few things that you kind of put together in your head. There is akin to a hunting party stalking some prey. You see various people seemingly going about their day-to-day, but in actuality constantly doing passes of the hotel that you all were staying at, and then passing off information to other people in a network that is intentionally designed to be too many people to keep track of any one person as that's the person spying on us. It's a network of people both going about their business and spying on you all.
It's unsurprising, but not like I can do anything about it.
After a good 15 minutes of looking around, there's a goblin gentleman in a red cloak that's a little bit too long for his frame, and kind of walks up the alleyway that you're heading down, kind of walks in and towards you, gives a slight bow, and is just like, "Hello.
Hello.
I have someone who would like to speak with you if you have the time."
I have some inkling of who it is.
Wonderful. Please, my lady would like to consult with you on business matters.
Okay.
If you would come into our office. And starts walking back down the alleyway.
Will I get stabbed if I follow you?
I don't know. It depends what you say, probably.
Good to know. I'll still follow, I like to know my chances of getting stabbed.
What are the chances you say something that gets you stabbed?
It varies.
Okay, then it varies.
Cool. Shiro's gonna follow.
About a block away from where you were heading, just off path, there's a familiar-looking carriage that was spotted at a building this morning. You are walked up to it and gesture up to the door. Enter, please.
Shiro's gonna walk in.
You see a female elf, armored, studded jewels in the parts of skin that you can see, um, both coming across the eye and down the neck and up around the wrists. A gesture is made to a seat across from her. Please
Sure.
sit. I hear you've been looking for me.
Sure is gonna sit down. Stardust, I presume?
Indeed.
I'd say it's nice to meet you, but you almost got my fiance killed.
That was quite unfortunate. There's no business advantage in that. It sounds like, though, the individual who was sadly trusted to execute this business maneuver has met, well, I would say an untimely end, but given his incompetence in the matter, sounds like more of a timely end. Which
What?
makes me question your presence somewhat. As I would assume business concluded.
You push it or down? I'm sorry we're squealing.
That's my twin, I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
Well, kinda need. I lost my livelihood. Figured I'd join up with some adventurers. I have experience. But,
Simple
why
business.
did.
Yeah.
Why did you want to talk to me?
Well, your business was burned. Your loved one, unfortunately injured in the process, and then a possible vendetta like traveling across the nation to get to where I am. You can see my curiosity.
That wouldn't be inaccurate, I suppose.
Here I am, I suppose, if you, that's what you desire.
Yes, but there is no. I've, I found this system of roses. It's similar to something I had back home, where you could challenge the one in charge, and it's honestly quite honorable. Tia would look upon this system and appreciate it.
I don't know much of the historical origins of it, but it
Ah,
serves its purpose.
Tia, God of honorable combat, whole thing. But there would be no. It wouldn't be honorable to kill you right now, and besides, because it's not fair to settle. Oh, I'm not the only one of my friends who has a score to settle with you. It would be, I guess you could say, disingenuous to let her to do that. Besides, if I killed you, and if I just killed you now, your second in command would take your place, and nothing would change.
I mean, well, my second in command's dead. My third
Your
would take charge. He's
Well, I
not
guess
that interested in. He has an alternate idea about business model, and I don't prefer it.
Hmm.
Things would definitely be different.
yes, but there is no guarantee it would be good different.
Never is.
I disagree.
I don't know how that changes by you rallying your friends to take shots before you. Seems cowardly, honestly. You want them to weaken me a bit so you have a better shot.
Yes, but I don't know how strong you are. You could, if I swung at you, you could just easily slit my throat. I am, you see, I am not like the rest of my clan. Taunt me all you want, I don't care.
I'm just confused at your motivation. Seems honor one moment, convenience the next.
Yeah. I spent 6 years being an adventurer, and I watched some friends die. I just
Did I kill
it's
them?
I don't think so.
I mean, I don't know that I would know necessarily, but
I don't know that I would know.
fair enough. So, we go back to an original question, I suppose, of what are you doing here? If not a vendetta coming across the nation after me, I don't know.
Well, if I say I'm here to kill you, are you just going to stab me?
Not necessarily. Lots of people come to town to kill me.
Well,
I've had wine with half of them.
not a wine person myself.
Eh.
Good whiskey.
This seems like a relevant point to make.
Fair enough. Uh, fuck it. I'm here to kill you.
Oh, alright. What's stopping you?
Like I said, don't be wrong. In one way or another, it will end. It will end with me bashing you upside the head with a hammer.
That sounds unfortunate for me.
I imagine so, but I'm not. Charlie has a score to settle with you too. I've heard. I don't know the whole thing with that. She hasn't. They've been rather not forthcoming with their whole story, and I can respect that. There are parts of my past I don't want to tell people about. But
Their vengeance takes precedent? Or
in this circumstance, yes, they have more of a reason to. You did two things to me. While it seems their whole life is their whole reason for being who they are is you. Meanwhile, I'm just some fuck from a Viking tribe with a hammer who you burnt down their bakery.
well,
Do you understand?
I
Understand what I mean?
I do. It sounds like you have a more of an uncomplicated relationship that you wish to result in my termination, where they have a more complicated one and their complications take precedent over your singular intent.
Yes,
Fair enough.
that's it. That's a good way to put it.
There's like a knock at like the her back, which is the like front of the car. Little slide thing opens up, and she kind of leans over. And goes, Terry, I need more parchment. Yes, of course. The slider shuts. Well, I hope you don't mind. But the rest of your compatriots, it sounds like, are willing to do some business, have a chat, do a job, resolve debts, generally have an amicable separation, but it sounds like you are of a singular focus in my destruction.
If it all comes down to what Charlie desires. If Charlie's very complicated feelings ends with the desire to not kill you, I will follow that. I would like. This is going to sound weird. There. Never mind. It's a silly thing to ask anyway.
Sure. Just to be clear, will you be attempting to kill me, regardless of if Charlie and I shake hands and high five and move on with our days from each other amicably, you still would like to kill me?
I don't believe so, no. Unless you were to threaten the love of my life, I believe
Sounds like I've
I
done that.
if
Or at
if
least
you
a subordinate of mine has.
if you could try to avoid it, would be nice. Then I think I could probably just forget about it.
out of game, is that a genuine statement that Shiro's just like, nah, whatever, it's fine? Like, marched halfway across the thing on a vendetta and now is like, well, if you guys work it out, it's fine. I'm whatever.
She'd be pissed and would want something to take it out on, but Shiro isn't the type to hold a grudge forever. As long as, like, you can promise, hey, don't do that again, she'll probably just be like, fuck it, whatever. She's very tired. Tired mom.
Got it.
Tired Viking mom. Just like, just try to avoid almost killing my fiance in the future, and
make,
oh no.
let's say roll a d12.
Oh no. This that gives me anxiety. I'd rather you had me roll a d20, but okay. A 4?
Awesome. Let's have
stabs
you,
you.
let's have you roll initiative.
I had a feeling it was coming.
Hey, a 19.
I was getting ready for it with me.
She also
Oh my
rolled
goodness,
a.
not again. I'm so sorry.
She also rolled a natural 19.
Mine was unnatural.
Right. So there is just that, like, your
Run.
whole group is so exhausting, and you see her like wink, and then the
That's
one of the
the goal.
studs, the diamond studs on the side of her eyebrow, sparks up, makes a prism, and then flashes into a cone directly into you, as well as the back of the carriage.
I adore her.
There is a
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
Tay makes the best villains.
You're the one that brought her to life, man. Like, I didn't expect any of this bullshit. Fuck.
So I need a dexterity saving throw out of Shiro.
Okay, cool.
Not
20.
again.
Not natural.
Oh my. Fair enough. There is an indigo light that blasts out in a 60-foot cone, well restricted by the carriage for the most part. And you see these indigo bands sort of like start to wrap around you, but you're able to kind of just spin in place and unwrap yourself from them, and you are kind of free to do whatever. You are not restrained. She kind of like gets a look on her face like, oh, that's interesting at least. And then what would you like to do?
Out of the carriage! Run!
Well, has the carriage been exploded?
No, there was no damage to the carriage. There was just a big bright light that kind of shone out of the from the interior.
Okay, first, I'm going to trigger one of my runes.
Nice.
Fuck, the website I use isn't working.
Tal'Dorei, go ahead and make a perception check for that owl.
I was gonna say, like, is this anywhere close to where I am?
One second, I'm going to
Where
have
the
my
owl is.
twin grab some.
Nice. Ravi, perception check for yourself as well.
You
It's right
bet.
around the time you'd be starting to head back.
Okay. I mean, whatever. It's like a boom. It's a boom.
It's a boom.
Where am I? Oh, owl. It's the owl, not me.
No. I opened Steam.
14.
14.
That's
Um,
average.
15.
15. The owl does see Ravi leaving the sees Ravi leaving the hotel.
Hotel that I okay.
You are too far to issue commands to the owl, so it just continues to circle. Ravi, you catch a good 100 feet away or so. There's just kind of the bustling city thing. You're still kind of getting yourself kind of mentally, straightened out as far as like what's going on. But you do see like a flash of like indigo light, like behind a building somewhere. No real indication of what that's about, but
I'd like to stealthily, like, fast walk towards it.
Carefully make your way that way.
As a bonus action, I'm going to invoke my Storm Rune,
Nice.
and then I'm gonna bolt out the door.
What does Storm Rune let you do?
In addition, you invoke the rune as a bonus action to enter a prophetic state for 1 minute, or until you're incapacitated. When you until the state ends, when you or another creature you can see within 60 feet makes an attack roll, saving throw, or ability check, I can use my reaction to cause the roll to have advantage or disadvantage.
Gotcha. It's that one.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the one where it's the most passive one I have.
Gotcha. All right. So you go to leave the carriage.
Yes.
Car. That is a 24 to hit.
Disadvantage.
Got it. That is a 24 to hit.
Ah,
Ooh.
yeah, that hits. My AC is 22.
Got it.
Oh.
Yikes.
What?
Wait, I might be calculating that right. Oh, right. Half plate is 15 plus
15
dex.
plus your
Okay,
dex to
so
a
it's
max of
20, not 22.
Right. 15 plus 2 is 17.
Yes,
And then plus a
one armor.
shield, and then you have...
No, it's fuck. Yeah.
One at a time. So plus a shield is 19. If you have your fighting style is put towards AC, that's 20.
I have the dueling fighting style.
So then no. So
Wait,
that's
no.
19.
It's a plus one shield. It's a plus one shield.
Okay, so that's 20.
Yes, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Got it.
It's 20.
Okay. So you take 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay, that's not...
And your speed becomes 0.
Fucking sentinel. Okay, am I within range of her?
Yeah, your speed becomes 0, so you've moved to like 5 feet.
Fine. This is how we're doing this? Fine. And she's going to pull out her hammer and whack her.
All right, go for it.
Whack.
Give her a good whacking.
This is super cool and fun.
as Tate
That is
screams
a
into pillow.
9.
That is a miss.
Oh, sorry, 10.
That's
I rolled a 2. That's much better. Does a fucking... It's plus 8. 26.
26 hits.
Thank fuck. Okay, I need a D8.
Yeah, you over there with the 20 AC, and me with my 14.
The
Probably
two
spent like 30 minutes
duelists.
talking about what we're doing.
That is a total of 4 plus 4, 8 plus another 2. 11 damage,
Nice. All right.
I think. Plus 1 weapon, I have the duelist fighting style and I have 4 strength. Yeah. 11.
11.
And then I'm gonna hit her. Nope, that I already made my second attack.
Is
For
it?
some reason, it only registered that I made 1. I don't want to fight. Not right now, anyway.
Oh, sure, I'll just wait around until you feel you're at an advantage. What could go wrong for me?
Well, have you talked
Kind
to
of just
Charlie
like
yet?
leans down next to you, or pulls up like right up to you. After you kind of clipped her with the hammer, gets like right under you, and it's just like, and leans the head, and another stud shatters and puts out a cone of energy directly into your face. Go ahead and make another dexterity saving throw.
21?
That's okay.
No, 19 plus 2.
That's yes.
I feel like that barely succeeded.
You lucky son of a bitch.
That's very high.
I don't want to die.
I don't know how that affects your rolls. Huh?
My dice know I don't want to die.
My dice are aware.
I believe in the heart of the cards.
What?
The heart of my cards.
That is. So you would take 32 poison damage, but halved to 16.
I thought you were about to say the 32 was already halved. 72 minus 16 is 56, right?
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
She also does the a thing where she like tumbles under you and past you after it's disengaging, and just moves up the alleyway. And then you have other routes to leave if you wish, but she like spins and turns to face you.
Oh, she ran up the alleyway?
Yeah, away from the cart, up the alleyway.
Which way back to the inn?
You'd have to go through her if you're going straight there, but it's like a crossroads. You can kind of go whatever way you want. If you wanted to run, you could run.
And now prepare for the secret technique. Run away! Just Shiro raises her hammer like she's gonna fight, and then she turns and runs away.
There's a call over. He goes, "Ha so honorable!"
Fuck off! The challenge hasn't been made yet.
All right.
Self-preservation overrides honor.
Shiro,
Sometimes.
Shiro, make an intelligence saving throw.
Okay. That's another 19.
Nice.
Plus 1, 20.
Nice. All right. You see a wall come up out of the ground. You almost slow down to like not like run face first into the brick, but then go like be like, wait a minute, I've known these tricks, and then just run right through it. Delusion having no effect on you.
What was that about honor? Get it back to the...
You start running through the streets. You start to get into the more crowded area with lots of like random people walking around. No more effects are coming at you at this point. You look over your shoulder occasionally, but don't see anything blasting you or anything like that.
Okay.
Ravi, what was that stealth check?
Did you ask for one earlier?
You said you were approaching stealth.
I mean, I said I was stealthing.
Yes.
I didn't roll on that.
Stealth check for me.
Natural 1.
Nice. As quietly as you can, you start making your way in that general direction. After about only about 30 seconds or so, you come up on a familiar-looking carriage. A goblin sitting on top, looking directly at you. He's like, "I don't recall you also requiring a meeting with my lady. Are you also here to speak with her?"
No, I'm good. I already did, thank you. And I turn around and go back to the main road.
Strange day. You turn back to the main road. Shiro, are you heading back to the hotel?
Yes.
Nice. Running in at a breakneck pace, I assume.
At this point, there's no point stealthing.
Yeah.
She's trying to kill me already. Yep.
You see Shiro bust in through the door, or at least Charlie does, and kind of stumble in through the opaque shield. Veins bulging slightly with a little bit of toxin. Clearly has been injured.
Are you on steroids?
On what?
Like you're bulging. Are you on steroids?
No. Put the Black Rose out now. I almost just got murdered. By Stardust.
I don't have black robes, but
Can I insight check that?
Black Rose.
Rose.
oh, rose. I thought you said robes.
What
Fancy.
context would I say robes? Rose.
Black robes out.
I said my
Wait
keys.
for Ravi to get back. and then we can all leave.
I feel like that's a bit. Like, I was not. Like, she directly tried to kill me.
And you almost died. Correct? So we should leave. Now.
You do see a little bit of blood drip off the hammer onto the floor.
Oh, fuck, you got her!
Yeah, I hit her in the face.
Thank you. I don't think I've ever seen anyone lay a hand on her before, so that makes me feel good.
And
But also, you hurt her. We gotta get the fuck out of here.
Here's the thing. I do have one trick up my sleeve that you guys don't even know about.
Which is?
I can kind of turn into a giant.
Okay. That's cool. Can you make me turn into a giant?
No, it's like a self-contained thing. But
Less cool.
But there's she's mad because I hit her, right? There's no point in us leaving. No matter what, I'm going to get hunted down. You see my thought process here.
I'm gonna go find a pillow.
Okay. Are you gonna scream into the
There are
pillow?
some in the room, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I
You
go
do
scream
that.
into the pillow. That didn't make me feel better.
Figured.
Fuck. Okay, we'll wait for Ravi to get back. And we'll hightail it out of here, I guess.
Ravi, are you going stealthily back to the hotel, or running, or normal walk?
Normal.
Okay. Ravi, make a perception check for me.
Cool. Not you. 11.
You notice the innkeep, like the manager of the inn you all are staying at, is seems to be packing up to like almost like to just leave for the day kind of thing, but sees you approaching and then holds the door open for you, as he kind of like finishes adjusting his satchel and like getting his keys out ready. Be like, I'm going to be locking up for the evening. Your key works for the side entrance, and just make sure to lock up on your way out.
Thank you, sir.
Indeed. Best of travels to you. Holds the door for you, and then you hear the lock after you go in.
Trying to head up.
Yeah. Heading up, opening the door again, kind of hearing muffled arguments. Entering the dome.
Robbie, cheer up.
Yes.
Hit her in the face. We're leaving.
Oh, well done.
He swung at me first, okay?
I wasn't upset at you.
Oh, sorry. I kind of assumed you would be.
No, she's kind of a bitch.
Yeah. I don't think there's any point in us leaving. I'm going to get hunted down. I hit a crime boss in the face with a giant hammer.
I agree. I think it's time to put that black rose out.
Seriously?
But
What else are we going to do?
Leave?
I don't think she's just going to let us leave either.
she's, yeah.
We got those magic teleporty friends.
Yeah, that was because we did a favor for them.
Friends.
Let's go down. Let's get some diamonds. Let's get out of here.
I don't think we're even going to be able to leave this building without getting attacked.
Yeah, there's a...
You have a price on your head, and I just hit her in the face. We're
Yeah,
dead. Essentially.
And more or less, she's waiting for me to do something as well.
Did
What?
we all talk to her?
I mean, I did.
What? I didn't.
Huh. Neat.
I was looking for information on my uncle.
Do I see the
Couldn't
origami?
really get anything.
Yeah, I left it on the
It has
floor.
not been messed with. You do see an origami next to the door.
I'm gonna poke Sonari.
I come
Pop
by.
out of the owl.
There's not much happening.
The owl's not doing much.
Did you
over
talk
there now.
to Ferris?
Yeah.
So all of you talked to Stardust.
Yes.
I guess.
And?
Well, she's pretty intent on getting you back. Either from you repaying her debt, whatever debt that you have with her, or, I don't know,
You.
grabbing you in the night, I guess.
I can repay my debt?
That's what she said. However, the way she was looking for you to repay it was pretty much through the ship that has now sailed. He said moving on to Plan B.
I mean, I'm surprised Plan A wasn't killing me on sight.
Yeah, she said she's gained a lot of patience in the last months. Whatever that means.
See, I'm not sure how much of that I believe.
What if we offered to go get the airship still?
Well, we don't know where it's going.
We can find out.
We can scribe.
Yeah.
We can do that, right?
Yeah.
I'd like to once again say I did hit her in the face.
You what?
Alright. So no, he was not there for that.
She swung first. She had these weird. She stabbed
You
me.
coming on your
first.
way now?
I don't think so.
Why didn't anyone wake me up sooner?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
So what are we doing?
I don't think we're getting out of the city until at least one of us is dead.
We absolutely are not.
You could stay in this hut till the morning
Charlie.
What if I talk to
or the night.
Yeah?
Everyone really can hear a tapping at the window. You look over and you see a version of Charlie. You see a version of your like vomit monster, but 2 eyes
Nice.
and a mouth. Instead of arms, these sort of like baby bone bat wings that have a like little 2-finger hands on them, and
Nice.
there's just like a tap at the window, and a or like a reaching into this like little like scroll pouch thing, and then like pushes it against the window. It's in Orcish, which I don't think Charlie reads, but I think Sonari does.
Yeah.
In Sonari, you see it's an old Orcish prayer, and is it's a I am thankful I am here to die, regardless of its lack of purpose. At which point, there's as it gets placed, the thing like turns its head and goes,
Black Rose.
now's the time.
Throw it out now.
A wall of fire erupts behind it, disintegrating it immediately and catching the side of the hotel on fire.
We're saving everything, right?
It's being supported by the ground we're on.
But like, if
Get
we
out of here.
go with us,
Let's go.
Yeah.
The wall starts
We still have to stand on something.
The wall starts to burn through and come in. Everyone seems
Out the
pretty
door.
safe in the dome for the moment.
Oh, the dome is okay.
I guess,
no
yeah.
damage of the fire comes through. But the structure you are in seems
That's
like
what
it
I'm
won't
saying.
survive.
Yeah.
If we get to a ground floor, we might be able to be fine.
Does the
Then-
dragon fall with us?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta go. We gotta head out.
We need
Grab
to
our-
find. We need to find a windowsill, I guess.
What?
Put the black rose out.
I grab the black rose, and when we go downstairs, I find whatever window and I put it on the windowsill.
It counts.
So Ravi grabs the rose from the breadbasket and like runs.
I put it in Charlie's hand, and then I put Charlie's hand and make them drop it on the windowsill.
Fuck you,
The
man!
windowsill in this room is currently on fire.
Well, not in that room.
Man.
Once we're
Alright,
downstairs.
so you all kind of rush
Yeah.
out trying to find another spot.
It's right here. See?
You rush downstairs. You can hear people like yelling from outside, probably at the sudden immense fire. Charlie, you're sort of being pushed ahead to like try to find a side room. The first room you try, the door is locked. You move on, or you try to get through the door.
I mean, if Ravi's pushing me, then I'm just going with Ravi.
Right. Robbie, you all push up against the door. It doesn't. It's turning the handle. It's not moving.
As long as we're on the ground floor, we should be okay from any fire or debris. So,
Make a perception check.
18?
There is smoke billowing from under the doors on all of the rooms that are on the same side of the hotel.
Other
as
side,
yours.
other side.
Go to the next door that is also locked.
On the opposite wall.
Yeah, on the opposite wall. Yeah.
Do you mind, Johnny? I mean, yes.
To unlock. That is, what do I add? Dexterity and proficiency?
Do you have expertise in it?
20. Where is it on this? I mean, that's a dirty 20 without the proficiency
Oh, nice.
or the expertise.
Pops the lock pretty easily. Looks like an open, unrented room. Almost curious why it's locked. But you...
I look at Ravi. I trust you. And then I'll go put the black rose on one of the windowsills.
Sure.
Grab Charlie. Once we're in the room, and I assume Sonari starts casting again.
I don't assume anything. I have like heard what Shiro and Sonari are doing. The other two ran out and down the stairs. The Shiro and Sonari kind of pausing for a moment, seeing that the wood under the dome is starting to splinter and catch and get under
it is.
the dome. And with a little bit of smoke starting to come into the dome. Looks like this fire will burn out from under the dome at some point and dump you all into the burning building.
Shiro and I.
Yeah.
I'm running out. I'm not staying at the burning floor. I left too.
Oh, okay.
I'm following. I'm following Robbie.
Falling apart.
Gotcha. All of you kind of tracking each other. The rose is on the windowsill. What else are you all doing?
What?
I take a knee,
Oh.
and I, put a hand on either one of Charlie's shoulders. It's like, we're in this for you. You know that. Because we believe in you.
I hate you so much. Let's get out of here. I'm gonna book it.
You kind of instinctually start to head for the front door.
It's locked. Side door.
Right. The others.
Others?
Following. Oh, us.
You two.
Yeah, they're right behind y'all.
Yeah, we're gonna
Okay.
go with you. I'm not going.
I grab the room key.
Sure.
Hopefully it works.
Who's running in front?
I have the key, so I'll go in the front, I guess.
Ravi rushes around the corner for the side door.
I'll be right behind Bo already.
Bo already, yeah.
Right.
Charlie, you and Ravi are the first to see your vomit monster standing on top of a barrel. Fuse and torch in hand, go, "Oh, thank goodness, I was so tired of waiting," and like lights the fuse for this.
Run!
Moonbeam!
Go for it. What's the save on Moonbeam?
Oh, it doesn't say. What would it be?
Well, it'll be whatever Moonbeam is.
On the...
For your same difficulty class, but whatever the Moonbeam save is.
It doesn't say.
Moonbeam.
Engulfs in a ghost flame that causes searing pain. Oh, so there we go. Constitution.
Right.
Ooh, a rare
Con
one.
save. Nice. That is a failure on its part. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Moonbeam's really good.
Where are my d10s?
Yeah. We're in a werewolf-centric game right now, and our druid forgot that they could cast it. And then the next fight, we were like, hey, you know you can, like, turn them back to humans with that, right? And she's like, oh, shit! Yeah, I'll remember that next time.
8 radiant damage.
Nice. 8?
Yep.
Oh, it's like a
That's
little
cool.
bit of damage every turn kind of spell.
Yeah, it's like
Oh
it
yeah, second
smacks-
level evocation. For some reason I thought it was going to do like 80 damage or something, but no. Yeah, but a beam of light anchors down on that point with the fuse burning, and you see this little monster like looking with anticipation down at the barrel, and then the light expands around it and it looks up and it goes, "Oh man, even sooner!" And then it kind of burns it apart. It just sort of falls over on top of the barrel as the beam continues on it. The fuse is still lit. You see the wood starting to splinter from the moonbeam damage. Yes?
Can I prestidigitation the fuse out? It says you instantly light or snuff out a candle as one of the things.
Yeah, maybe.
Yes.
It might be.
The fuse goes out. The moonbeam's still on it. The torch burning next to this barrel. I'm gonna roll a save for the barrel.
A con save for the barrel.
What did you roll?
Uh-oh.
It's kind of like my bad rolls having the opposite effect because we wanted the barrel to survive.
But you look so disappointed.
It's funny. The dice have become humorous at this point.
I put it out. Guys, I got it!
I got it! The side loses integrity and opens up, and a grayish powder spills out eventually into the flame of the torch. And you all kind of see Ravi look back and go, "I got it!" And then and a large explosion, like a dexterity saving throw from everybody.
Yeah, I figured.
Natural 20!
Hey!
18, 16 plus 2.
Jeez.
What saving
And
throws?
I believe I take no damage.
From
'Cause
As a
Shield-
reaction with
Shield
your
Master.
shield.
using your feet,
Nice.
yeah.
What's the dex?
Dex save, yeah.
Wow.
That's
So, funny story.
I have it.
Natural one?
I balanced the universe. I got a natural 1 for a 7.
Oh!
Ooh.
I
Uh,
am not. Not either.
All right.
Where is my...
The amount of damage got reduced by a couple of dice because the barrel of gunpowder was just now a barrel worth of gunpowder, essentially.
Well.
Nice. Those of you who did not beat a 15 dexterity save, which I think is just Ravi and Sonari.
Yeah.
That is,
The other two don't take any.
yeah, the other two take 0 because of feats and class features. It's funny for Shiro and Charlie both just like Shiro blocking with the shield, Charlie just sort of ducking back around the corner,
Harley like grabs a door to hide behind.
Right. This is big like explosion rockets down the hallway. So that's 41 damage to Sonari and to Ravi.
Ow.
Ears ringing, smoke coming into the room.
It's
Okay.
A regular like human eye, retina attached, kind of bounces across the floor.
Oh no.
Past Charlie and Chiro.
Not a civilian.
Weirdly, no,
Or-
there were no civilians in the area.
It looks like a
Step on
human
it.
eye.
I turn around to look at them.
You can turn around to look and you just see Charlie stomping on this eye. The eye seems to be magically preserved. It's not taking any damage from you stomping on it.
Oh, it might be from the creature.
No, it
Right.
got disintegrated, didn't it?
No, it just flopped over
Uh,
from the moonbeam.
Oh, and then
Gross.
exploded. Also was in range of the barrel.
Exactly.
What are y'all doing?
I
There's no
stand up.
There is no longer a door.
It's like back the other way. Back the other way.
I mean, there's no door anymore.
Well, yeah, but the whole that section is definitely on fire.
No, it's just shattered. Everything in
Okay.
the area.
Well,
it hasn't had time to
I
catch
assumed
fire.
I assumed an amount of realism
Right.
that all of it would be on fire, but
Yeah.
That way.
Let's go this way. Shiro is going to lead
And
since
exit the building.
Right.
she's just like, fuck off.
Well, run off into the halls. What is all of your plan?
Get out and run.
I'm gonna
Find
throw
a-
the eyeball.
Find a place to regroup, I guess.
All right. Who has skills they think they can use to get out of the danger zone?
Survival?
Scampering.
Sorry, starting with Charlie.
Scampering. I'm gonna
Scampering.
throw the eyeball and then book it.
Book it. Okay, go ahead and make an acrobatics check for me.
Oh, that's cocked. Ooh. Acrobatics?
Yep.
22.
Nice. You all watch as Charlie uses their incredible nimbleness to scout out ahead, jumping over crates and barrels and scouting out spots, seeing ways that are blocked by other citizenry, ways that are just blocked by other stuff, and like finding paths forward, using their ability to get around over the debris and whatnot throughout the city.
Yeah.
Someone
Bonus
else,
action.
someone else have a check they might want to try to help get out of this area.
Athletics?
What would you do?
Run like hell.
Okay.
Fall.
By yourself?
I'm following Charlie, but at like full sprint.
Move outside.
He's doing like group checks,
Yeah.
things to like help us as a group get out of here.
Right.
Oh shit.
And
Survival?
and ability to like think through that and think of-
survival to like kind of like see like, oh, that area is like a little bit more protected than another area.
yeah, go for a survival check.
Yeah. That's a 15 total.
15. Kind of spotting like, okay, if this were even more of a trap, where would the rest of the trap be? You kind of grab Charlie by the shoulder at one point and be like, nope, this way, and pull down a separate alleyway, moving forward. Between Sonari and Ravi, another skill you might try to use to aid your escape.
Think of something.
Would my familiar have come back?
You would need to give your familiar the order to fly back, or you can unsummon it and then resummon it. And you can, when you resummon it, you can summon it within like I think 30 feet of you.
Okay, I was just gonna sit outside of that hotel.
But you
Alright.
can unsummon it from anywhere. You can literally say
Yeah, you can just kind of snap and like it disappears, and then snap again and it appears.
You can say
Oh,
go
okay.
fly to the ocean and fish, and then when in a couple of days when you feel like changing your
Yeah.
mind, you can just
Okay.
pop it out of existence, pop it back into existence.
Okay. I would like to try doing that and see if it could stay. Like, can I choose for it to be outside the hotel?
Send
the
it
inn that we're
back
in.
to like scout the hotel fire?
Yeah, like scout if there's a good exit for us. That isn't.
Well, you're already
the
out
bus stop.
of the hotel, essentially.
Oh, we are out.
You're like running down alleyways trying to put distance between you and the.
In the place. Okay, they just like scout ahead.
Sure. Make an Arcana check for me.
Can I give Scenari Bardic Inspiration on that?
Sure.
So it's a D8 you can add to it.
Thank you. All right, where's that D8?
The D8
Oh,
is
okay.
the D12 of barbarians.
And then 9, and then Arcana 13.
13. Did you add the bardic inspiration?
Yes, I did.
All right.
I rolled a 2.
You
I added a 7.
you go to
My 4.
you watch as Sonari kind of like nods at Ravi at the bound of inspiration. You see her summon the owl to her arm and then like throw it forward as nature's slowest bird attempts to go ahead of the group that's running at full sprint. The owl gets about above you all, and then you have that moment of like, okay, I'm going to look through the owl, and then you all watch as Sonari goes blind and deaf, sprinting down an alley.
Right. I grab onto her arm and like try and lead her with us.
Because it can communicate to me, can't it?
Well, and you can
a bit of an
see
oversight.
through its vision and
I know,
things
like,
when you blink out,
True,
but
and I would go blind.
right.
You're now playing life in third person.
There's
Great.
a bit. You're running with a top-down view.
GTA.
Right.
It's like an isometric fucking game now.
It doesn't help you that much in the moment, but it is an interesting idea for the future. You all run through a bunch of alleys, getting a couple of successes in there. You eventually you feel like you're a pretty good distance away, that you're not going to have to deal with too much, but you do get down an alley where the side exits are blocked, and there is a hooded figure at the end of the hall, apparently semi-waiting for you at this kind of distance. Yes, Charlie?
Are there any, like, doors, like, locked or not?
No, not in this immediate couple of buildings. They're like, okay, we gotta be almost clear, and take a turn, and then there's a couple of blocked alleyways. There is one like boarded up door in the back door of a building that's had boards put over it, and then there's this one figure
Waiting for my turn again to unlock a random door, but it never got.
Yeah, everybody kind of got a thing to do, and then when it came back around to you, it was all done.
Dang.
What
What do you want?
What?
Just when I'm yelling at the person.
Oh. I misinterpreted. Kind of.
So I'm yelling at you, Jeff.
What do you want? I'm like, I don't know, better
Oh,
job
God.
or something. I don't know. The the figure kind of looks back at everyone. And it's just like, starts to go to cast a spell. So everyone could roll initiative.
Natural 20!
Ah!
Band initiative. Don't
Uh-oh, you're gonna have to figure out the total for that.
30-20.
I
got
shit to me.
A
That's
20
nice.
total.
A 9!
13.
I'm gonna finish stress eating these real quick.
My initiative-
Yeah,
Charlie,
I'm
what
tempted
was
to-
your total initiative?
24.
24.
Does my initiative bonus change?
It's just equal to your dex bonus.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
your
never
dexterity
mind.
modifier. Unless you have.
Unless you're bard, in
Sure.
which case it's also half of your proficiency.
Nice. I think there's some like other subclasses that add random values to it, but
Row
generally it's
subclass,
just dex mod.
gunslinger.
Charlie! Ah! He yelled with a yawn. Charlie, what are you
Bucks
doing?
and battles.
This person is attempting to start casting a spell.
I'm gonna try to shoot their hand.
Do it.
11 plus 11
22.
is 22,
That is a hit.
I think, is
Roll.
what that totals to.
Yeah. Roll your damage.
Um,
Is this arrow
I'm
or no
gonna
arrow?
sneak attack
No, there's nothing giving you advantage or anything.
for the aim if I stand in the same place.
You gotta declare that before you roll.
I haven't rolled yet.
We literally just got your roll total.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Oops.
7.
7.
Pew.
And is that an arrow or just the energy bolt?
Arrow.
Do nick their hand, and they're just like, ah! Kind of looking at you like, but why? We're trying to murder each other here. Why are you just shooting my hand?
Because they're trying to cast a spell.
They're like,
Well,
they're like wondering why they're debating tactics with you. I will need they kind of just look at the field and snap judgment, decide. Shiro, make a wisdom saving throw.
A what?
This dude.
Why?
Wisdom saving throw.
You die.
I would say it's actually Shiro and Sonari.
Cool.
Ooh.
Wisdom.
16?
14.
14. So Ravi and Charlie notice Shiro and Sonari both go to pull weapons from their sprint, and then just like lock up mid-movement
Oh.
and are
Pull.
paralyzed.
Whole person. God damn it.
This is true. Ravi,
I have that spell, fun fact.
it's fine.
How far away is this guy?
About 50 feet from the four of you.
I'm surprised you didn't just try to kill us.
50 feet.
It's like one, you know.
I don't think I can get to him then. Because even using my thing. Yeah. I gonna get 30 feet closer to him.
Sure.
Bonus action. Bardic Inspiration on Charlie. Or, yeah, Charlie. And then I'm gonna cast a spell. It's a D8.
Ooh, okay.
Nice.
I am going to cast Hold Person back at him.
Nice.
No,
All
you.
right. What is your DC on that?
It's 16.
Nice. That is
Uno reverse.
Uno reverse card. Unfortunately, that is a 17 on the save.
Ah. Damn.
Boom.
That's my turn then.
All right. The little magical binds kind of coil up. He's like, looks back and kind of gives you a nod. Charlie, what are you up to?
I'm gonna shoot him again.
Are you gonna steady aim
Steady
first?
aim.
Cool. Right next to your paralyzed friends, you line up a shot.
Yes. Right at his face. 16 plus 11, I'm sure hits.
Only 2 hits. That
The
hits.
Sneak attack damage.
Ooh. $24 points of damage. To his face!
24.
And then I'm gonna use. I have to open my D&D thing again. I'm gonna use Action Surge
Action Surge!
Hey!
again.
All right, I don't think you have advantage on the next shot. I don't think it's
No.
all of your shots for. It's just the steady aims for the next shot, but
Ah, it's a natural 17 to hit.
it's gonna hit.
Doesn't even need my inspiration.
Right?
7 points of damage.
Yeah. It's just weird to see a rogue take a second shot, and so it's just like,
Yeah.
well, you almost got. Hey, what?
Wait, that's cheating.
Now, Sonari and Shiro, at the end of your turns, you have the chance to make another Wisdom saving throw.
Hey.
Oh.
Did he continue concentration?
Indeed, he is still concentrating.
Ah.
Oh, wait, I make the check now?
Okay.
Yes. Should have made it on your turns, but, you know, same difference.
Is 10.
10 is not due.
A 17 this time.
17 just passes.
Hey!
Nice.
Just sees an angry half-orc barreling towards.
Sorry, Sonari, I should have given you the inspiration.
It wouldn't have gotten me up there, anyways.
Well, it's a D8. Possible.
Oh, for a D8, yeah, never mind. I don't know why in my head I was like, D4, nah.
The figure kind of takes
That's bless.
raises a hand and like pulls back a sleeve. You can see that the off hand, I was saying, there is no hand. There is a stump that has been healed over. There is a stud of a fire opal on the wrist. As Ravi's a lot closer, as people seem to be struggling free of their enchantments and things. He looks at Ravi and goes, "She has many blessings if you want to work for her." And then you see a little bead mote rise up and shatter the gem and then fly forward. I will need a dexterity saving throw from everybody. Sonari, you auto-fail due to being paralyzed.
Another 17.
Oh,
Wait, it'd be an 18 this time.
nice.
'Cause
17.
and
13.
I'm gonna take no damage, please.
Great.
Please.
Right.
What's the DC?
17.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I take no damage.
I fail.
Nice.
Again.
So 0 points to Shiro and Charlie, 23 fire damage to Sonari and Ravi.
Nice.
Yo.
Are you down?
I'm
23,
down,
you said?
but I'm not good.
23 fire damage, yeah. The fireball erupts between Ravi and the other group, catching everybody. And there's sort of like there's a little smirk, and then realize everyone's still up, and goes, "It usually works." And then like pulls
He
the
says
dagger.
that usually works
Yeah.
to a very singed Ravi. To a 9 hit point Ravi. Oh, right, it's my turn.
Pulls the
Feelings.
dagger at edge, ready to fight. But yes, it would be Ravi's turn.
I charge at him.
Close the
I
distance.
charge and I slash him.
Sword knife fight. Sword and knife fight.
You bet. Rapier versus dagger. My 2 attacks. I'm gonna make the first one the thing that I get to do, where I get to give AC bonus to my
You do
AC.
the flurry.
Gosh.
thingies, yeah.
Yeah, there it is. I found it. Defensive flourish.
Nice.
Yes.
I got a 25 and a 24 to hit.
Nice. Those will both hit.
Yeah. I forgot to hex him too, but that's okay.
I just discovered something that's really good that I need to start using.
It sounds like something you could discover on your turn.
Yeah. Well, it's not on my turn that I can use it.
That is
Fine.
17 damage total.
Nice.
Cool.
Okay. Next up
And
around, unless there's
Bonus
any other-
action.
Yeah,
Sonari is still within 60 feet of me.
indeed.
I inspire Sonari with my bonus action.
Yep.
Because I
Sonari,
forgot to.
you are
hex.
on fire on half of your body, not even able to move to like pat out the flames, and just like
You got this!
there is
I
like a
got
wink
this.
from up the field of smoke and char,
My friend believes in me.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Speaking of Sonari.
Oh yeah.
Sonari, make your wisdom saving throw. Oh wait, he took damage. He is totally fine. So, Sonari, wisdom saving throw.
Oh, that's in. Don't know what happened in that one.
It was 2 separate attacks, Jeff.
Oh, fair enough. Still good.
What does inspiration do?
So,
You can add a D8 to your saving throw
Oh,
if
that's
you want.
all right.
I'm assuming the DC
Wait.
is 17 since the DC for
That was
the
17. I rolled a
Possibly.
natural 14 and then rolled a 4 with that inspiration.
without bonuses.
Yeah.
18.
Yeah, and then I don't have a wisdom bonus.
Right.
Hey.
There's a fly has put itself in a precarious position that I may be able to trap it and have it stop flying in my face.
Oh, fly.
I have a question. What's considered large?
Large thing.
4 squares.
So, Sonari, at the end of your turn, you were able to break free of the paralysis of the hold the person spell.
I thought you said old person spell for a second. I was very confused.
I cast old
That's what I heard
person. All right,
It just summons grandma.
Shiro.
Someone grew up.
How far away is he?
50 feet from you.
Back. Just gonna, I
You
guess.
could dash.
Yeah, but oh, can I dash at him and then, as my bonus action, ram into him using my shield bash?
You don't ask me what you can do. You tell me what you're gonna try to do.
I'm going to try and do that.
Cool. Wait, that's the wrong book. Sure.
I'm pretty sure you can only do it as a bonus action if you use your action to attack.
Well, that's is what why we want to
think.
find out what people are trying to do, not
Or
asking how.
oh wait, no, it right? Maybe.
So using
Yeah,
your
if you
action
take
to
the attack-
dash,
I
You
see.
take the attack action.
right? So you take your action to dash and close the distance, get right up. You are not able to then shield bash with your bonus
Okay.
action.
Also, I just discovered I should also be adding an additional +3 to dexterity checks.
Because you are not checks
Shield
or
master.
saves.
To any dexterity saving throw you make against a spell or
Yeah.
other harmful effect,
Yeah, it just
target,
saves then.
Saving
a target.
Yeah. Okay. So closes the distance. Charlie.
I'm going to shoot again.
The fool has got surrounding people at this point, so you don't have to use aim to get your sneak attack damage, though aim would help with the whole having advantage thing.
I'm going to use steady aim
Thanks.
and sharpshooter to take a -5 so I can add a 10.
Nice.
I'm going to use bardic inspiration.
Cool.
Ooh. I don't know if that's gonna hit. One sec, I have to find my thing. Where's my book? Oh, never mind. 21 to hit.
That is a hit.
Sorry, that was a nervous fart. 30 points of damage.
Nice.
30?
Yeah.
30. Sharpshooter.
Damn.
It's like when someone has a melee damage build, and then the sharpshooters are like, anything you can do, I can do better.
I could do the
You
same
look
thing as
narrow.
you, but from far away.
Anything you could do, I can do from over here. Where is that? Yeah, takes the hit. Any bonus action stuff you want to do? Or wait, you used your bonus action already.
Yeah, I did for steady aim.
Yes, too. Which also means no movement. So just the one arrow. Ah!
Yep.
nope. Well, still concentrating for no reason because that spell's everyone is saved from it at this point. All right, comes to his turn. Kind of eyes everyone up and just like, oh, that sucks for me. Does a little like, just casts a spell and disappears from view.
God damn it.
Can I swing at where he was just to be sure he's not just invisible?
It would come to your turn next, so yeah, take a swing.
I'm going to do that.
And make an attack.
23.
23. It would be disadvantage. You don't see anyone.
Oh, fair enough. 23 is the lowest.
Nice.
The other one was a
We
crit.
were up there.
There's a woof in the general vicinity of where they were, and nothing.
Damn it. Got away. Let's continue running.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep running.
All right. People pick up and start to sprint.
I would like to drink a health potion as I'm running.
Sure.
As a shot.
God, I wish I had made a cleric.
There is some speed questions here. So Charlie is the slowest, but can dash with a bonus action for a sort of a base 50 speed, essentially.
So in reality, she's the fastest.
Technically, if people are moving and dashing, there's people like Sonari with like a 40-foot move speed that goes 80 feet, where Charlie goes 75 for move dash dash. And unless you wanted to throw on those boots of giant swiftness.
Nope.
Boots of ogre swiftness?
Yeah, yeah. I will need a wisdom saving throw from Charlie and I think Shiro.
Fuck me, Grog. Ooh. Wisdom?
Yep.
14.
15 here.
I will need a perception check from Sonari and Ravi.
These two. Go away.
Swear to God, if you kill off my character again.
I didn't do anything to your character. There's just things that you've provoked that are attacking you.
By accident this time, even.
I was
I'm
even gonna talk to Stardust.
There is such a weird backpedal thing about I'm going to rampage across this country and hit her in the face with this hammer, and then you get to her and be like, well, I mean, whatever, it's bygones be bygones and all that. Perception check on Sonari, who's probably the most likely to make it.
Yeah, I got a 20. Oh, wait, 19. 22.
22. You do spot someone reach up from the roof of one of the nearby buildings from where you guys were before you are all out of range and paralyze both Charlie and Shiro. You notice them freeze in place as you're all trying to book it out of there. You also know you could easily pick up Charlie.
Yeah. The action. I want to. Water magic missiles at the thing.
Oh,
At the
nice. How many charges do you want to burn?
I charged it back up to 7 last time. I think is gonna do another. I'm gonna do a 3. Is that a D6 for each level?
So 3, it's 3d4 at the first level. So 3, 4, 5. So 5d4.
Oh shit, that's more than I originally thought. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
5d4 plus 5 damage.
That's a lot of damage, potentially.
Potentially. I don't roll all like ones. Okay. 8, 12, and then one more. 16, and then it was plus 5 at the end?
Yeah.
So 21 damage.
That's right. That is...
Are we fighting a different person now?
Figure from above seemed to cast hold person on Charlie and Shiro.
Yeah,
see.
the same person. Just
Okay, yeah.
their turn when they were surrounded was Misty Step, hide, and then you all went to run away. When it came back to their turn, they stood up and cast hold person on 2 more of you. Yes, there's Ravi. You look back as Sonari spins around with the wand to see that Charlie and Shiro are paralyzed, with that person who's held out their hand to cast that spell, and then as this bunch of magic missiles fly in, they kind of grit their teeth and seem to maintain concentration on the spell after rolling 5 concentration checks because of the 5 hits.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
Technically, 5 separate hits
Yeah.
of magic missiles.
That's
a great way to break concentration. I've never thought of that before.
It's one of the best reasons to have it.
Yeah.
It's like, I could cast Counterspell, or I could cast Magic Missile, and it's probably going to have the same effect. Alright, so...
Not gonna roll above a 10 every time.
This is true. That comes back to their turn. They're looking a little rough from the punishment they've taken.
Charlie's still paralyzed?
Your friends are paralyzed, both of them.
I thought Charlie went before him.
Oh yes, I was
You're
looking at
paralyzed.
Sonar. I was looking at
Oh,
Charlie's initiative for Sonari's turn. So it would be Shiro next. So Shiro, a Wisdom saving throw.
Another goddamn 19.
That is amazing. You break free of the paralyzed.
I'm going
You don't get a turn. It's at the end of your turn.
Oh,
You
right.
get a save,
I forgot it's at the end of my turn.
Yep.
Sorry.
And so coming back around would actually be Charlie next, for another Wisdom saving throw.
13.
13. All right. Charlie is still paralyzed. They take a look around. Nope, they can't concentrate on any other spells. So they're still working on this one. They pull out just a crossbow. Take aim at. They first take aim at Shiro, but then see Shiro break free of the paralyzing. So then they aim over at Charlie.
Oof.
Take the shot with advantage, which is a. Oh wow, that's not that much. That is a 16 to hit.
That's my armor class.
Yes. Oh wait, I have something for this. I'm going to use Runic Shield.
Yes, you do need to use it, I believe, before it's declared if it's a hit.
Nope. When another creature you can see within 60 feet of you is hit by an attack roll,
Oh, it is specific on that one. Cool.
Nice.
you can use your reaction to force the attacker to re-roll the d20 and use the new roll.
Gotcha.
Nice.
So that is an 18 to hit.
Yeah, that.
Worth a
Thank
shot.
Worth the shot.
And unlike your runes, it's not limited. I just have to use my reaction.
Jesus.
That is 19 piercing damage on Charlie.
Oof. Oh right, because it's an auto crit, isn't it?
Nope, that's when you're within 5 feet.
Oh, it's for
Yeah.
melee attacks.
Also, yeah,
Thankfully.
cuckoo. All right. That's their turn. Rabby.
Yeah. I look at Shiro, and I give her a wink, and I run over to her,
Mm-hmm.
and I put my hand on her shoulder, and I Dimension Doris up to that guy.
Nice.
Wait, you put your shoulder on me?
No, I put my hand on your shoulder, and I teleport both of us up there.
Purple.
And then
And you are next to them.
and I say, and I give you a turn, like, towards him, give you a pat on the back, and go, get his ass, and give you Bardic Inspiration, too.
Oh, they're going to mention it back out.
There's a bit of a eyes widen.
Hi there.
I'd like to teleport so that Shiro is, like, directly next to him,
Mhm.
and I'm behind Shiro.
Makes sense.
Smart idea.
There you are. Sonari. End of your
Yes.
turn. Go for that wisdom saving throw.
Did
Oh
I
wait, you
guess
weren't
Charlie-
paralyzed. I'm thinking of Charlie.
Okay, I was like, did I get paralyzed?
no,
again?
no. I'm getting things mixed up.
That's-
Sonari.
Not much I can do if she's up on that thing.
I mean, magic missiles auto hit. But...
Yeah, I can do magic missile again. I'm gonna do it one more time. Yeah,
Nice.
for
No.
one charge. So just like 3.
Cool. 3d4 plus 3.
Oh, well, it's not terrible. 3, 4, 5 damage. Plus 3, sorry. It's 8.
In a I guess that's the whole reason why to do that is there's a and a like almost a cockiness of like, you tried this before, I held on, but you see Charlie get their movement back and is loosening up and able to actually have their faculties now. You did manage to break concentration on that. That's what happens when they roll a 1 and a 5 despite their advantage.
Oof.
Move Warcaster.
Woo woo.
It's always dangerous when the DM starts giving feats to enemies.
I figured y'all have access to 2 or 3. They can have 1.
Why get chat and shield master?
That was your choice.
Fair enough.
All right. So that was Sonari and Shiro. You are right up on him.
I'm going to hit him with my hammer.
I'm gonna hit him.
Hammer time.
A 21.
That is a hit. Yeah.
Nice.
And
Natural 21, Jeff.
I'm going to
Natural
use
21.
I'm going to use Orcish Fury, which allows me
Orcish-
to roll.
That's when you crit.
Yeah.
Nope. I have
It definitely is when you
No,
crit.
Definitely
um,
when
oh, the
when
feat.
you crit.
the feat version.
Oh, gotcha.
Once per long rest, I can roll another damage dice.
Okay, go for it.
Then you do have 2 feats.
I have 3 actually.
Roll your damage.
2 sixes plus 7, so 19 damage.
All right.
Do I need to use my second attack, or is he down?
He's still up. Yeah.
I'm gonna hit him again.
Do it.
Fuck this guy. Ooh, that's a 15, 16. 8 plus 8.
That is a miss.
Yeah.
All right. Charlie.
I basically hit him twice.
Phew! Steady aim.
Go for it.
Oh, that's when he's talked. 21.
That is a hit.
God, I hope we get a rest before the fight with Stardust.
Don't taunt him.
Oh,
Please don't kill us.
well.
Every interruption is 1 fewer hour of rest you may have.
Every
Nice.
interruption
So you have
is another 10
negative
hit
3
points on
long
her.
rests.
26.
26.
Ignore all cover.
Yeah, you do. A whack at the side of the face, dodging the second hit. A one hand and a blacking of a hand arm start to spin for another rotation for some other kind of spell. But an arrow from the distance locks him up and crumbles onto the roof next to you. You do see the fire behind you all, smoke rising in the distance,
Right.
some kinds of whistles being laid out, people approaching the scene that you maybe don't want to chat with. But Charlie, you do drop this operative. One of the people you don't recognize from the guild, but their motivation's pretty obvious.
Do you have anything on him, quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make an investigation check.
Dirty 20.
Say the 2 of you could get in on that.
Sweet. A 10.
The definitely has a light crossbow. Does have what's look like a spell component pouch.
Ooh, Sonari needs that, doesn't she?
She got
She
one.
has already gotten that.
I, in character, she did say that, so I'm not metagaming.
um,
Trying to be better about it. Okay.
the first thing that oh, sorry. Wrong slide. You didn't kill Stardust. This is a lieutenant. Yes, there's a from just a pretty easy glance, Ravi can recognize the box of bolts that is down one, which is currently in Charlie. The So there are 19 crossbow bolts in this box, and they all seem to be printed with some kind of rune showing them to be magical. Shiro sees the satchel that was kind of slung behind the back of this individual. Looks like it's got a pattern sewn into it, so it looks like it's either a really gaudy patterned bag, or it's definitely magic of in some way. Ravi, you notice a potion on the belt. You don't two potions. One looks like a healing potion. The other you are or well, no, these would be somewhat labeled. So there is a healing potion that has like a heart, on it, which has sort of a etched into the glass, something that's for easy labeling. It seems like a pretty nice one. So there's a superior healing potion.
Ooh.
And then a potion of flying.
Ooh.
And just for notes, those are plus. It is you have 19 plus 1 in Charlie plus 3 crossbow bolts. So they are
plus 3 crossbow
plus
bolts?
3 bolts.
Damn.
Yeah.
Flying person with pranks.
Yes.
No.
And then Shiro, you have this bag.
Bag.
You pull the
What
bag.
does this do?
All right, let's get out of
I
here.
mean, it's a bag. So Ravi, are you jumping down after finding these couple of things?
Yeah, Remy holding his side.
Right.
I'm gonna find like a drain or something that I can slide down.
Sure. Give me an acrobatics check or athletics or acrobatics, whatever you want to use.
Definitely acrobatics.
Go for it.
Sir.
Shiro, what's Shiro doing with the bag?
21.
Because you haven't found any money or gems or anything on them.
I'm gonna open the bag.
I mean, it's easy enough to like flip the flap open and look in it. It looks like it must be some sort of extra dimensional space because you don't see the contents.
I'm gonna close it, sling it over my shoulder, and go down the same way Ravi did.
Sure. You all get down and all start sprinting away. You get 5 or 10 minutes of like moving through the city away and there's a clear like fire in the distance. So seeing a few injured people. Huh?
Side door.
Side door. Eventually.
Any abandoned building.
Okay, somebody give me an investigation check for an abandoned building that you might be able to pop into.
I'm never
Me?
looking.
Sure, Rabbit,
What?
go for it.
All right.
Well, I'll give you advantage because I have expertise.
Sure.
Well, why don't I help you then?
Okay.
Ravi has the thought, but Charlie's the one who seems to have all the inside-out
Yeah, I'm
knowledge
like-
of how to do it.
Charlie's like, you look, I'll help you out. And I'm like,
17.
no,
Yeah.
you look, I'll help you out.
It's like when your like doctor friend is like, "Man, I should help you research this," but like, if anything, I'll hold your books. Yes, you find a building on like kind of the poorer side of town. As you get towards the outskirts, a little bit of snow starting to fall, but you do find what looks like a building that nobody's in. Doors are locked, which is a momentary inconvenience when Charlie's around.
Oh, that's cocked. That's also what the fuck? That's also cocked. Ooh. 13.
13. it's a pretty weak lock on some like poor abandoned housing things, so that is plenty to unlatch it and open it up.
Lock it behind us.
Yeah, relock
You'll
it.
duck inside, put the very basic lock back engaged, and kind of all breathe heavily, having avoided utter destruction.
Do the hut thing
Tiny have gone. Yeah.
on solid ground.
Sonari, yeah, it's sort of
Stone.
it's like a dirt and thatch floor in here. So
Okay.
Sonari starts tracing out the dome and the one large room to this building.
Can I cast Cure Wounds on myself at 2nd level?
Go for it.
Because I'm very hurt.
He's just like, ow!
Ah! Ah! 10 hit points back?
Nice.
Or 10 plus 5, so 15.
Cool. All right. Who else has a thing they are doing?
Let's take a short rest and then a long rest. Just in case.
Yeah.
Sure.
Either.
Yeah, let's take
Nice.
both. Just like
Kinda.
Just
oh, wait, I
knockout.
just a short rest. I'm fine with just taking a short rest super quick.
I'm going to spend all of my hit die, Jeff.
Yeah,
Do
go
we-
for it.
Do I have the things to make food?
You have some things in your bag, I think, but you would have to like get a fire going and
And I'm going to play a Song of Rest as well.
nice.
Could I just like make some sandwiches?
I would say you need to cook a thing versus just slap some cold cuts together on a bread.
I get 41 more hit points.
Nice.
Let me use 3 hit dice.
Cool, cool.
You also get 1 extra from Song of Rest.
Can anyone
Oh.
start a fire?
How many extra?
Let's try and keep a low profile.
My tinderbox is taken.
Okay. I was
How
trying to-
many extra does that?
Just a 1 extra T8.
Nice. That'll be nice. 24.
I'm going to spend. Let's go 4.
32. I got 32
And a
back.
D8.
I'll spend 1.
I got exploded twice. It's not in good shape.
So 1,
Exploded a couple
9.
times. Yeah.
a 2, a 4,
I don't know
and a
that
7.
you need to announce each individual dice to us.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I do math better if I say the numbers out loud.
Right.
Well, that went well.
Oh, I'm back up to full.
Nice. People take about an hour throwing
Charlie,
bandages
did you
on.
take an extra D8 as well from Song of Rest?
Charlie?
Did you take an extra D8 as well from Song of Rest?
Oh,
Because you can too as well, Shiro.
I did.
Okay, cool.
I got that as an extra 1, like extra 1 point for some reason. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know, but I didn't roll. I thought you meant like there was extra 1.
Oh, yeah, it's a
I got
D8.
very confused. All right, so that 32 becomes a 39.
Cool. I am 2 hit points away from max.
And I have all my shit back because fighters also are one of those classes that get their shit back on short rests.
I have a total of 5 spell slots left, and they're only 1st and 2nd.
Oh, on a short rest, does Wand of Magic Missiles get to recharge, or is it just a
long
rest?
rest, or
Long
at
rest,
dawn.
okay.
The
Okay.
wands recharge at dawn. Typically.
Good.
Cool. Rabbi, do you point out the things you were able to pick off that body?
More.
Yeah.
Uh,
Take out the...
Can you identify this bag?
I cannot identify things.
I can identify it.
Can you identify this?
I sit down for 10 minutes and I identify it.
Dome
So-
up.
Mega tricks over here.
Pull out a little pearl from your bag. That is one of those things you would have had to spend the 100 gold for a pearl on.
Ah, I'll I mean, I went out to buy.
Yeah, you
this
specifically
thing,
went out to
and
buy those kind of things, so you can just mark off that value now. Pulling out.
Is it 100?
It's 100 gold pearl, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was 50.
Tracing out with the pearl over the item. Go ahead and make an Arcana check for me.
Doesn't consume the pearl, right?
Nope. You get to
No.
reuse it over and over.
Thankfully.
I was like, I'm not gonna spend $100 every identify. Actually,
Yeah, yeah.
It would be so inconvenient to identify shit. You might as well just swing that fancy sword at someone and see if it blows up.
Oh.
Cracks.
Doesn't
16. Yeah. I don't know why that was so hard.
Right. 16, it appears to be a bag with like an extra dimensional space in it to hold objects, which you've kind of heard of before as a bag of holding.
Yeah.
This one, though, appears to have a mild tear in it, in the sense that there is a daily chance for it to shunt an item from within it to a random plane of existence. And then
Cool.
there is also a chance for something from a random plane of existence to shunt into it. So any random thing could be in it and could be out of it. And
What's in it?
you would not know what's in it unless you like reach in to grab whatever's in there.
Yeah.
And
Or turn it inside out.
you could also
Or give it to me because that sounds like a chaotic thing.
I was going to say, I was like, hey, chaotic one, do you want to like reach into this bag for a second?
I'm gonna reach in.
okay. Charlie reaches into the bag.
We're having fun.
And get sucked in.
Hold out a fucking flame tongue.
Pulls out a white dragon.
I mean, it kills Stardust, but it would also kill us.
Campaign over.
Can't believe it kind of just.
You all
ended
watch
with
your
it.
very chaotic friend Charlie be like, hell yeah! Grab the bag, put their hand in it, and then their whole body suck into the bag.
Can we like grab onto Charlie?
That react, yeah.
Wait, actually?
Yes, actually.
I had a feeling it might be
You
this.
breathe in there?
It's the bag man.
You are inside this bag. Oh wow. So yeah, you're gonna
Yeah,
want to
it's bad.
get out of that.
It's bad, yeah.
This isn't
Can
great.
I reach in and take Charlie?
I'm gonna try to get
So
out of
Charlie, you can immediately attempt to get out. So make a strength
Yeah.
check.
Oh, no.
Can't see you, so I can't give you advantage.
2, 3.
3. You do not climb out.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So this is how Charlie dies.
Yeah. So Sonari, you watch this happen. I mean, you're still
Yeah.
holding the other side of this bag.
Yeah.
Are you going to try to yank Charlie out?
Yeah, I said I wanted to reach in and like
Oh,
pick
I'd like to
Charlie
say-
out.
I'd like to say I
So-
grab onto Sonari before she.
I don't
Reaches
know how
into-
much you think
Yes,
that's
we've already
gonna
happened,
matter.
so I've already done it.
I
Ugh,
give
I gotta
I
get.
give
I'm gonna
Sorry,
go into
for
it.
inspiration.
Okay, Sonari is not sucked into the bag. Sonari,
But
you may use your action to. Or wait, I did this backwards, I think.
I rage.
You rage, yes. That makes sense. So bonus action rage. Go ahead and make a strength check.
So angry with this bag.
This is a funny bag.
Greg's pissing me off.
Ah. Okay. The strength is just +4. 22.
And with that, Charlie does not instantaneously die.
Woo!
So
Good.
the DC 20 strength check to pull someone out of the bag, provided you don't get pulled into the bag, which happens
Yeah.
50% of the time you reach into the bag.
Nice.
That thing's
Grab
cursed.
Charlie and
This could be helpful.
Charlie, you look down and see this gaping mouth of like flickering dimensions at the bottom, chomping up at you, and you bites about a foot short of your foot.
I
as
don't
you get
think so.
yanked out of the bag.
So
I'm gonna throw it. Just like
Whoa.
Ah!
I'm still holding. I'm the one holding it. I'm gonna like fold it up, put it in another bag.
Not a bag of holding, right?
No, I don't have a bag of holding. Robbie
Your
does.
character knows nothing of this.
Fair enough.
Okay. Amazing. You all kind of sit there panting, almost killed by the
bag.
consequences of your story, and then almost killed by just your own raw chaos of reaching for random stuff.
I am being.
As it quelled Charlie's shiny instinct.
Probably not.
no.
If anything, that was exhilarating. We didn't die.
Again.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Let's take a nap.
Dome is up. Everyone is no fire has been started, so there is no signal about your location.
Is Ghost allowed to come into the dome?
Ghosts?
Yeah.
Oh, is
No,
ghost?
like
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
owl.
the
Actually,
familiar,
no.
Okay.
Well, any creature that is inside the dome when it's formed can go in and out.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah.
When it is formed. Okay.
But
I thought it
anything
was
that-
sent from
So if you
they allowed to. I just
If they
know
allow
the
them to.
world tiny hut.
Right. The
Yeah, that's
lore of
bad.
Tiny Hut, I think, is different from the actual wording of the spell.
Ah.
Okay.
In the,
Okay, I'll just have
current
him
edition.
like perimetering and wake me up with screeches
Right.
if he sees anything weird.
Screech if there's anything weird.
Yeah.
The owl sits. You all
Same.
lay down. Some of you heavily charred. Some of you pierced. All of you.
I got better.
All of you ready to crash off that last adrenaline spike of your friend almost being consumed by a random magic bag. Oh my. Oh my to everyone.
Oh my.
Oh my.
What a day.
I think I'd have to dip.
Ever at the end.
Everybody's
Good place
like,
to call it.
yes, indeed. All right. So we will see people next time. Hopefully
For next week.
for next week. Like
Hopefully,
probably
yes.
same. Hopefully same time.
Yeah.
We'll work it out. But see you next time.
Remember your fingering.
Fingering.
Watch
Yeah,
out,
there it
yes,
is.
your inside jokes will stay inside.
I feel so sorry for someone who's just joining and has no idea what that means.
Right. Indeed. There's a backlog. That's for sure.
Well.
Bye,
Don't die.
everybody's.